Welcome to the GRG podcast, where you get all the best Live Wires Gaming, 108 Dragons TV, Bloody Knuckles, Operations Op, 100, live, and your host, K Mega 405. The GRG podcast
starts right now.
What's happening, everybody? What's going on? The GRG podcast is here, and we are live. So, yes, as usual. And, hold on, I have a video game showcase. So get ready to check it out. It's this game right here. Yes.
This ain't shit, because they ain't got bug snacks, man. I ain't worried about this.
Oh, starting it early.
Stop disrespecting. Anyway, this is a really dope-ass game. Unfortunately, it's only on PC at the moment. Hopefully, for me showing this off, it gets somebody's attention, and they'll go ahead and talk to somebody in the console space and bring this hot-ass game over. It's from a Chinese developer. They have worked on a couple of other games, primarily just only this series, and they have expanded. It started off as a turn-based RPG. But now it's turned into a live action a game with RPG elements, and it's dope, man. I mean, it's an older game actually. It came out in 2017, 2018, but I just kind of stumbled upon it because I was going to get Persona 4 Golden, and then I was looking. Well, you know what? 3 and 5 are more about the penis demon, but. This, you know what I'm saying? 4, not so much, but Madara is in there. But regardless, anyway. So this game right here, though, it's fire. It's dope. I've been playing it. That and Injustice. I got to get back on my bleeding edge, man. I mean, but
Speaking of Injustice,
I've been playing my Injustice. Oh, and also before I get to the crew, I have to say this: the first Injustice is free on Xbox, so try to take advantage of that.
And PS4
and Steam. Oh, and on PS4 too.
Yep.
Okay, all right, good deal. All right, so without further ado, let's get to the bums, and it's not too many of us tonight. So obviously, this can only mean one or two things. The topics that we're going to talk about tonight is going to have everybody get their full, in, and we don't even have to do a GRG extra, or we're going to get out of this bitch early. So I don't know. What we're going to do. I don't know. But regardless, let me get to the bums. First bum! You're a bum now. You've been here long enough. PK, what's happening with you, bro? What's happening?
So disrespectful. Hey, happy Friday, family and friends. I'm glad to be here with my brothers and the GRG family.
You was gonna call us sister. You was gonna call us
here. He was not gonna do that.
Shots fired. He can't protect himself.
Oh man, go ahead, PK.
Nah, I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to get started. Talk about some gaming.
No doubt.
Word.
All right, cool. Then move to the other bum. You know what I'm saying? He kind of eased his way in. Not like Livewire did. Livewire just went like straight up bruh man. He's still bruh man because you don't know when he's gonna come. You don't know when he's going to. I'll be like, I'll hit up. I want to hit up live. Say, man, what's up, man? You coming on the show? Shit, I don't know. Maybe. Oh, it's like that.
He's still from the fifth floor?
Yeah. I'm gonna go down there and get a sandwich though. All right, man. I'll see you later. All right, so we got to. But this dude right here, he kind of snuck in. Like Lemon says, "Hey, man, I got this dude, man. He's cool, man. I got him." And then Xbot sat here and said, "Man, yes, this guy, man. I learned. I talked with Lemon, and then of course, I mean, he's been on the show." In the chat, and I see him going after Chris and chatting and stuff like that and all this, but then all of a sudden Lemon just kind of squeezed him in, like, hey man, we kind of short, can you bring him on? I'm like, yeah, cool. The next thing you know,
technically,
he came back.
The only reason he's in GRG chat because I said I had to ask you because even though I love GRG, it's your baby first, and I care about the show.
It's our baby.
Xbot invited Sick to the chat. I said, "How dare you?" Without asking King. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was like,
one of my personal friends. I didn't even just invite the dude.
Yeah, I was like, who is this dude? And then next thing you know, you got sick. And
yeah,
then,
that's my guy.
He was taking the place, and then next thing you know, I was like, all right, man, cool. See you in the chat.
Well, he got to be my guy. He used to babysit my child.
He came right back in the next week. I said, well, damn, Lemon's back. Bro, I'm here. I was
Help
like,
me down while I was sick. Thank you, Sick.
So, yeah. So anyway, but no, what's up with you, Slayer?
Oh man, all these superlatives, man. Jesus Christ! If I was to pat myself on the back any harder, my arm would break. What can
Facts.
I say? What's up, everybody? I'm chilling, man. Playing some games. Nah, man. I'm just. You guys got me blown away and lost for words. You know,
blushing over there. That's a little bit, man. Say what you got to say.
A little bit, man. Yeah, it's been quite the week. You know, we got some information on some games. We got some good news. We got some kind of disappointing but understandable news, and you know, we're gonna talk about that tonight.
Nice.
Do it.
Cool. Let's do it. All right, cool. And then last but not least, you know what I'm saying? He was over here. Hopefully he ain't got any issues this week or last week like he did last week or the week before. We doing it. Oh man, I'm constipated. I gotta go to the bathroom. I can't do the show. Oh man, all right, cool. Then the week before, man, my bunion hurt, man. I gotta drain my big toe. So I'm like, all right, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? What's going on here? These the first signs. I mean, anyway, what's up with you, Living? My brother, man, my ace. What's happening with you?
Yo, life is good, man. Yo, I'm feeling so fantastic tonight. I know we're going through some trying times, but I'm telling you, when you get a new game in your life and you get involved in a situation, you forget everything around you, man. And being a gamer in these hard times it's satisfying. We home, you know what I'm saying? It's just a good look. And I'm ready for these topics, man. We got some great topics tonight. Welcome to everybody. And let's get it done, K-Meg. Let's go.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's get it. And that's it. Nobody else. I mean, live might come a little bit later. That's just the live wire way, aka Donald Trump.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump, aka bruh man, the king of the Dolphins, aka. And then also, you know what I'm saying? So maybe he might be in Tulsa. Live might be out here in Tulsa, about to get his ass whooped because he's out here by Greenwood.
Oh,
they told his ass, don't you take your ass to Greenwood. I know it's not too far from the BOK Center, but you better not come down because you might not get out of there. You want Secret Service. They don't play out there. So you better understand how it works out in Tulsa, bruh. But I'm just saying. So other than that, hope everybody's having a great Juneteenth. I know our president said that nobody knew about it, which is disrespectful as hell, but everybody's talking about it, and hopefully it'll be a national holiday because it should be. Anyway, other than that, 100, I don't know. He might be in one of his things. Like, hey man, I gotta take a man. I get tired.
He might be in Vegas.
I might be. I'm just tired, man. I get tired, man. I just do one podcast and I get tired.
He drank me.
I get mad, man. Man. My Raiders, man. I just get so tired. Okay, so all right, he might be tired. But Bloody and Op, they have situations that's going on. And I don't know. Op could be playing. I don't know. Do Op have a PlayStation? I have no idea.
The way he played Gears, I doubt it.
You might be right. So anyway, let's get to it, man. First topic, and let's get this out the way because it's not that many of us here. So the EA Play event. I'm sorry that I couldn't be there for your for your live show, Lemon. But you know, I had to take care of business myself. Hey man, I just get tired. I just get so tired. You know what I'm saying?
And the kids is here. You know, they drive me crazy.
Yo, man, I get tired. Anyway, so what's up? So I'm gonna go straight to you first, brother. But okay, since you was host of the show, man, I know that you gave your little take on it and everything, but I kind of want to get your perspective on the good, the bad, and the ugly. Just get it all in one big ball and tell me what you thought about the show overall.
I thought it was decent. I'm not gonna give them no real credit because and it was partly because one of the Xbox sites exposed the Star Wars Squadrons early. That would have been the big surprise. But you know how me and you get down. We wanted that Battlefield 6. And the community wanted those modern weapons. But I got a shout out to 100. 100 did point out a facts that we know from E3 for the last 2 years we attended.
Oh snap! 100's here. Oh man, I just keep getting tired. I get tired. But man, you know, I got enough energy to make the show.
But it's like 100 did bring up a valid point that EA, and we went to EA Play. We know we was live from there. EA don't really boast what they do, You know what I'm saying? They ran out the parking lot. They had their games, but they put all their big announcements on Xbox stage or PlayStation stage. So we still might get that Battlefield 6. We still might get games we haven't seen. And like I said, they announced the Rogue Squadron early with a video because it got leaked by mistake. So it was a decent show. They had a couple games that was solid. You know what I'm saying? When they show Madden and FIFA, we're not impressed. We know those are games that's just going to do what they do. They showed a lot of indie support. They showed a lot of games going from Origin to Steam. I thought it was like a kumbaya situation for them in the beginning of the video. So I'm not going to give them the over-the-top great presentation, but starting to see a lot of these digital shows, they're starting to look the same. Like nobody's really knocked it out the park yet because they don't have those bangers. So, or the bangers that the people anticipated, because they was anticipating a lot of different stuff for EA and it didn't happen. So we sat there, we was optimistic, but you know, I thought it was all right. You know what I'm saying? I want Battlefield 6. I don't really care about Madden being showed. They didn't have no NBA Live. That was another disappointment because 2K needed competition. But yeah, that's basically it, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't that impressed.
All right, cool.
But
All
they
right,
did but they did show gameplay for Rogue Squadron. And we kept saying that during the show, like, at least show gameplay. We don't want to see the same trend. And they showed it, and we was very happy with that. Let me say that.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I totally agree. All right, good deal. All right, so 100, what's up? You came in, man. I thought that you was going to be in one of your tired modes, but I see that you came and you popped in. What's up with you, brother?
Oh no, I ain't tired. No, I have to work today. I got a vacation.
Oh,
Got a
all right.
vacation day.
You
Again?
you even sound alert. Damn. We might get
I wasn't looking for what they say. I guess that Juneteenth. I guess I don't know. I just found out what it was. I said, okay, I take it.
Oh, don't do that.
No, I really didn't know. I'm not going to lie. I told my people today. I said I didn't even know.
You didn't. But it's a South
my
thing.
brother was telling me about it. My brother was telling
me.
me about it, but I didn't like really do no research. I didn't know. You know, didn't really jump into it because you know I cut off half the world. So he was telling me about something like where some fireworks at. Let's go blow up the block. I'm like, nah, I like my freedom.
Oh wow! All right,
yeah,
cool.
but the job was they're making a legal holiday. So
nice. I think it's gonna. I think that's gonna pass. As it's gonna be a
well, in New York, they passed it. Our mayor said it's official in New York.
Yeah, to make it a national holiday. It looks like that's
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
But
national, I don't know, but in New York,
it's going to have to take the
holiday.
federal government. It's going to have to take the federal government to get my state to comply.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Well, in Tulsa, I'm sure that they'll do it out there, but because Tulsa's getting a lot of attention now because of the Greenwood riots and all that.
And this is good to tell you, King Megan, and everything in New York is city jobs, whatever job is national. Well, not national in terms of the country, but national. Like it's considered for everything in New York.
Yeah.
Mayor Blasio covered that yesterday.
Well, that's nice. That's dope. So hopefully that it'll become a federal
hopefully
law
it just be for all states. Right.
So
right.
so because it needs to be. All right, cool.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna let you knock 100 for not knowing about it until recently, because even I didn't know about it until a couple of years ago. I mean, it wasn't this past month or week. But no, don't give me the. Most people never heard of Juneteenth. We just haven't.
I didn't either.
I think we need to
either.
Don't act like it's something that everybody knows about. We didn't know.
I didn't say everybody. I didn't say everybody. I didn't say everybody. I was thinking I thought at least black folk knew, but I mean, I guess
Sick about to go left.
I thought, like, come on.
I'm saying most folk didn't know, and you know we're admitting we didn't really know about it, and you're grumbling like, oh,
I'm like, golly. How a country bumpkin like me gonna know more about Black history than y'all?
Because like I say, we city boys.
Here, aka fourth.
Yeah, we city boys.
Sandwich.
So we don't get all
me
that
meat,
stuff.
bro, man.
AKA bro man's in the building.
You know, the reason why Juneteenth is bigger known in the South than it is in the North is because
that's another thing. Yeah,
those are the people who are affected by it. People in the North
Facts. Facts.
Understandable.
So
But
I
it took,
mean, you know,
but they came from the
that's
north
like that's
to
like
send
that's
a
like when
letter
we
to the
had
south. That's the
I
crazy
mean,
thing. You
Hey,
thought you would
nigga,
know.
that's
They
that's
yo,
no
rode
listen.
from the
Let's
north
not
to the
turn
south.
GRG into the political monster.
I will
Let,
not. That's why I
let's
just
keep
said
it
what I
going.
said. Okay, keep it going. All right,
We're
I'm just
not
saying
doing
what's going on.
this.
So
hey nigga,
live.
that's no different than you being hyped about Parasucos 2 years after we even
You know what?
stopped wearing.
Spell Parasucos.
What? Yeah, Parasucos.
Anyway,
All
let's go.
right, all right. So
Gaming show.
live wire. I know, right? Live wire. What's going on with you, man? Before we get to, so I can get to you right now about
Uh,
the EA.
I'm playing the
fuck
Last
that.
of Us, playing Grounded. I like
Uh,
Grounded, yeah.
you like Grounded?
You can play
Okay.
Grounded now.
Well, we'll talk about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got
No,
the
Well, it's a
inside.
preview.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
It
are
comes
you
out
going?
in a month though, so I mean, don't
Yeah.
trip. It comes out in a month.
So
Well, to Game
we'll
Freak.
we'll be talking about The Last of Us here very soon. So don't save everything about The
Yeah,
Last of Us.
save it,
Save it.
buddy.
So all right, let me go to you, PK. Get your thoughts about the EA Play event. What was your thoughts? To give me the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I thought it was pretty average. Like most of us was looking for like the next BioWare or
Facts.
like Dragon Age, or if they're gonna do anything with Anthem, or you know those kind of things. We're just looking forward to what was coming next. So I think it was average. I mean, I didn't have my expectations up, so I wasn't tripping on what they were doing or not doing.
That was it. Not, was there any games that just really got you excited or anything?
I mean, the Star Wars was great. It
Mm-hmm.
sounds cool, but again, it was a lot of. It wasn't a lot of gameplay to really gauge on what it's going to be like. So I kind of want to wait and see what that means.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Hopefully, the quality stands up to the last Star Wars game.
All right. No doubt. No doubt. All right. Slayer, your turn.
Yes,
What do
sir.
you think?
Well, like I was saying last night, I didn't have high. Well, let me say it like this: I thought pretty positively about the show in general, but that's because this is just another example of if you have high expectations, you're gonna be disappointed no matter what happens. And so I didn't have high expectations, and I was already happy because of the leak with the Star Wars game. Once I saw that, come to find out, after the fact, it's crossplay. We already knew about the VR, but we didn't know about the crossplay. That was one of the major things they kept harping about, throughout the whole presentation. Crossplay this, crossplay that, which is just great to see, But the game, eventually they showed us gameplay, and it even looked even better, and they explained more about, like in vague details about how the gameplay works, and like it kind of like you could do like space drifting, I guess you could call it, looking real dope. And it reminds me of this other game that was on the PC gaming show. In fact, it was on Kickstarter. I supported this game. It's called Project Wingman. It doesn't have multiplayer, but it's also in VR. It's also it's more like Ace Combat, and it's like a player game where the whole game is also playable in VR, like the Star Wars game is. I'm really hyped about this game. This, that's the main game I'm concerned about. But EA generally didn't show too much, and I wasn't expecting too much, so I'm okay with it. But like 100 had mentioned to Lemon, and Lemon just mentioned a second ago, that usually at the console press conferences, you get that EA info, particularly with Microsoft, because Microsoft and EA have been real close in the past few years. So yeah, I like the show. I didn't have high expectations, but one of the top things I wanted to see, I had already seen before the show was played or whatever. So I wasn't tripping off that. It was good enough, I guess.
Okay. Cool. What about you, Livewire? What did you think about the show, the EA Play event?
I thought the show was it was I wasn't like the Star Wars thing looked okay to me. To me, it didn't really look that much better than what we already see in the Jedi Battlefront, whatever.
Oh, Battlefront 2? Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a downgrade to me personally. But I've only really played those dog fights in the campaign. I didn't really play it the multiplayer like that. So I wasn't all that amped about it, but I'm not a huge Star Wars fan anyway, so whatever.
Somebody kick this dude out the room.
I'm just not, man. I like Star Wars, but I don't like die on the sword for it. You know what I mean? Like if it comes out, shoot, I didn't even see the last one in the theaters. I saw the last one I saw in the theaters was, I don't even remember. I don't even think I saw the Awakening in the theaters. I think we waited until that was like on VOD, and then we watched it that way. What did I like? The EA Sports thing looked interesting. Like they only showed glimpses of it though. So like the little glimpses of things, I was like, ooh, I don't know. Is that actually gameplay or is that CGI? I don't know. But that was the only thing I was really interested in. Like looking at the soccer, I was like, man, that soccer looks good. I don't give a fuck about no soccer, but that shit look good. I said the same thing for Madden. The thing that caught my eye though about the whole show was when they was talking about next gen. Even though they ain't got really shit to show for like who knows how long. But when they were talking about next gen, I don't know what was that, Need for Speed, I think they had.
Yeah, that was Need for Speed. Yeah.
I was like, damn, that shit look real as hell.
That wasn't a next gen announcement. That was a cross-play announcement.
No. He's talking about when they showed the clip. Matter of fact, I
it was like the car sitting in the desert.
Yeah. I'll show that clip on here too, because
I was looking at that. I was looking at that. I was like, oh, this shit look real as hell.
They look photorealistic. The backgrounds and everything.
Then I seen Battlefield. I said, oh, that shit look crazy. And see, and this is where I but I mean it was short lived. So like overall the show wasn't great, but those are the two things the things I really remember is like the next gen stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's what I was missing from PlayStation when they did their thing a week and so ago, right? They didn't give me that. Like I didn't like when I saw that car game, I was like, that shit real. When I saw Gran Turismo 7, I didn't say that shit. I said it looked like Gran Turismo 7. It looked good. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like it looked terrible, but it didn't. I didn't look at it the same way as I saw it. Now look, maybe that game don't even look like that. All right, but from what I saw, I was impressed. And so with that, that was cool.
All right, 100. What was your thoughts?
Boring.
All right. Was there anything?
I mean, it was boring. Like only thing that it was my thing. I'll go on an even kill. So I know people wanted to expect. They was expecting that since it wasn't no E3, they was expecting that boom game that's going to come out. They was going to do that. But if you look at EA track record, they do the same thing every year. They pass the buck to whoever has their marketing rights. That's who they pass the buck to show their games. They only show you a glimpse. They always show Star Wars though. Remember the last Star Wars Battlefield, and they had the girl come out, and you saw the rendering on Battlefield 2. They showed all that. Other than that, they didn't show no Madden. They didn't show none of that. That was on Xbox, or they'll tell you to watch more on Microsoft stage, or they'll say more on Sony stage, or watch Nintendo Direct. So I like they did the indies. It's going to shocking to people. Star Wars won't be purchased on the console and purchasing it on VR.
Yeah.
It's not getting purchased on console. I'll be playing it on VR. It's cross-play. I put my Xbox headsets on, and I can still be an Xbox party, and I'm going to fly in VR. Okay. To me, it's feel like it's cooler in VR. I already got people talking about they're going to get me because, I'm a great Jedi that I am, and they a bunch of Siths, like my man Vodka, so they set me up for failure. But that looks fun. But it wasn't like nothing. I mean, I know people wanted that but you got to look at EA track record when they do that. I do give EA props for what they did at the beginning of the conference. I give them props because a lot of companies haven't done that before, But Sims, I don't really care about the Sims. They pushed a whole lot of Steam and a whole lot of Nintendo Switch, but it was supposed to be for Nintendo Switch, Steam, and show you Star Wars. I think next month you're gonna see the FIFAs, you're gonna see the Maddens, you might see your MMO that people want. Because Microsoft probably did that and say, hey, can y'all just hold back? And let's go hit Sony over the head. And just bring that out. So that's all, it wasn't no super high expectation. I tell people you shouldn't even have none.
Yeah, no, I mean that was a great point. I have to admit that you are right. EA don't really ever come out just guns blazing because they let everybody else do it. So yeah, no, you're absolutely right on it. Good observation. All right, so cool. As for me, I caught it late. And I was I always come in with these expectations of I don't have really high expectations unless it's something that I just feel that it has to be on the next level. And EA is kind of I'm like 100 on this. I mean EA is EA. So I was hoping to see what Lemon was talking about Battlefield 6 because I was like, let's go. And then when you didn't see it, I was like, oh. But Squadrons did look good. I did like that one indie. You'll see the indie in here. Matter of fact, while I'm talking, it's showing right here. That's Dragon Age, and that's not CGI. That's actual gameplay. That's crazy. And Sir X Man, that picture of that lady's for you because I know that you like one like that. So, but this right here with the whole with all the characters into this battlefield, and I know it showed like the old modeled battlefields, the characters, but I think what they're trying to show you is that they're finna go another level higher. While Call of Duty and PUBG they do 100 players, they're gonna beef it up to 120 players. So 128 players. I think that's how they're gonna do it. So just think about that for a minute. How big Battlefield is going to be if they lift it up to 120 some characters. That's going to be epic. That is going to be insane. Yeah, man, Conquest is going to be crazy. Team Deathmatch is going to be bananas. The Levolution, I hope they bring all that back. And they're supposed to be bringing it modern, so that's going to be cool. But yeah, Livewire, you're absolutely right. The car model that they showed for the Need for Speed, my God, it was dope. It was dope. So no, I mean overall the show to me was average. It's the third best show. The PC show was was the worst of the four. PlayStation was second, Xbox was first in my opinion. And I mean that's just how I look at it. But I thought the show had some good points on it. But I don't care about what that's lemon stuff right there. I'm not into Fortnite or whatever. What is that game called? Apex. I'm just not. I don't like those type of games. So it's just not my thing. But I mean, people was happy, and then the most disappointing thing to everything is that I sat there and I was watching for all the damn gold letters, and I didn't win shit. So if anybody wants something, please let me know.
I ain't win jack shit. That shit took forever to load. I had multiple tabs going. My connection was strong, and
oh no, I
took
took that in. I took that in. I sent it over there, and I jumped in there, and I was like, all right, well, let's see. And then I got my little notification today, and it said, sorry, but we have some games right here available that you can get off of Steam. I was so mad, like, because I was like, man, we could do this. And another thing that I got hyped about is that they were all in on crossplay. So that right there is just kind of proving that Xbox has now pushed the narrative. I know that there was PlayStation fans to talk about, well, what happened in the last gen, but it wasn't up to this degree or level until now, and so now it seems like everybody is all bought in on the um, on bringing games. It's having just one game and you can play it anywhere. So
guess
I'm
what?
really happy about that. What's up?
The leader of the pack, Call of Duty, did it without PlayStation's
Consent?
permission.
Well, I thought it was Fortnite.
No.
Fortnite
Did it by mistake, but we know that was a mistake. You don't just turn that on by mistake.
Right.
We know
It
what
was
happened.
actually Rocket League, but yeah.
Oh,
No,
Rocket
Rocket
League?
League did too, but it was after Fortnite, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Fortnite said they did it by mistake because the Xbox dude said, you can't have spaces in your name on Xbox. That's how they caught it. But now that the developer's saying, this is our game, you can't tell us what to do. When Call of Duty just said, we're doing it, what could Sony say? No, you're not. That's one of the biggest games in the history of gaming. They just going to go, okay. Otherwise, what if they said, "Oh, we're not putting Call of Duty on PlayStation"? That would be a disaster. So, shout out to Activision for just instantly doing it in this new Call of Duty. And I got plenty of PlayStation dudes on my friends list, and it brings two communities together, and nobody cares what system nobody's on anymore.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
but yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So I'm really happy about that. I mean, because that brings us longevity to a whole bunch of games. And Vodka, hey bro, I'll have it on there tomorrow. I'll have it on YouTube tomorrow. It takes about because however long the show is going to be. Hopefully, it's not going to be too long because we're light.
We're
So
moving.
yeah, no, we're moving because we're going to the next topic. But I was
Let's
just
go.
I was talking to Vodka. But yeah, it'll be up. It'll be up on YouTube tomorrow, and next week I will finally be out of YouTube prison. So
Punishment.
yeah, so I could get back to doing live shows again. But GRG is still going to be here on Mixer. I'm going to still try to do something that maybe we could put it on both. Because there's programs that you could do it.
Restream.
But yeah, but I like my freedom. I like playing my music in the beginning and stuff like that. YouTube saying hell no to the no. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to think about how I'm gonna work that. But anyway, all right. So let's get to the second topic. Let's get to the juicy stuff. All right. So The Last of Us 2 is here. Let me ask anybody on the panel who has played this game already. Please let me know.
Yes.
All right. Livewire. What about you?
Oh yeah, I played it. I got like 4 hours.
Okay. I'm not even gonna ask.
Shit.
I'm not gonna ask 100. Sick. PK. What about you two?
Oh hell no!
That's like asking 100.
I know, right? Damn.
I'm not into that whole zombie thing and everything I've heard about this sequel. Man, I was interested in this first one. I'm definitely not interested in the second one. Hey, if you like the game, hey, no problem. It's not a Death Stranding where it just looks like utter horse shit off bat. This actually was like a game.
Wow, bro, why are you bringing on breakfast? I just asked you a yes or no question.
Right. He went into
the okay, all right, man, bro. Bro, all right. PK, have you got a chance to play it yet?
I have not.
Okay.
So I don't have a opinion on that topic.
Okay,
that's for being honest. Appreciate that.
Thank you. So I'm going to get to you guys last. I'm going to get to the people who's played the game. So first, I'm going to go to Livewire because 100 already know he ain't played it. So
yeah, he ain't.
Yeah.
PlayStation in the garage.
No, man, I'm tired. So all right, so Live. Give me your thoughts about this because once I get everybody's thoughts who played it, then we're gonna get to the nitty gritty about the whole situation that's going on with the bombing. And now since we can talk about the game since the NDAs is up, so we can get into a little bit of everything. But before you do all that, Live, because I know you're gonna go left with it. I just want you to tell me what you think about the game for what you played so far. Let me know what you think. Come on, let us know. We're excited. We want to know. Guys, I want to know.
All right. So this is how I went into The Last of Us 2. You gotta know. I done gave up on gameplay. All right. And what
you gave up on the gameplay.
No, and it doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just telling you how my mindset was.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go into The Last of Us 2 thinking that I was going to get this amazing gameplay. My whole idea of The Last of Us 2 is I'm just looking for a story-driven experience from Sony from now on. Bro, I didn't play through Uncharted Lost Legacy. So, and I've been told that those are Uncharted 1, 2, well, people shit on Uncharted 1, but they tell you Uncharted 2 is like the best game ever of last gen. And they say 3 was, a little bit less than. But all those games got like high scores. So, after playing all those games, there's a lot of gameplay left to be desired. All right. So with that being said, I went in here and straight off the bat, it's a movie. Straight up. It's a movie more so, I would say, than any game I've ever played. Even more so than Detroit. And you know how I like Detroit. Yes. Like, bro, it feels like.
Whoa, hold on, more than Detroit.
Yeah, it's more of a movie than Detroit. Now, don't get me wrong. There's more gameplay as far as like stuff to do in there than Detroit. But I'm saying like, how narrative heavy Detroit is,
Mm-hmm.
is more so than that. Even though they don't give you choices of like changing your, choosing your dialogue and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the way it's presented is way more, way more
Cinematic.
like a movie. Yeah, it's heavy. Um, it's just the little things, man. The little things. Only them, Naughty Dog, and Rockstar kind of do it on that level. Like the little things. Like, all right, the first thing you'll notice is like the animations in the face. Like all that has been ratcheted up to like what Rockstar was trying to do back in the day with LA Noir,
Mm-hmm.
where they was talking about all this like reading people's faces. Like they've mastered it on the level of what this gen is. It's the best I've seen it this gen, right? Like to the point that you could like, you don't have to. People don't have to really talk. You kind of know what they're thinking based on their facial expressions.
Oh,
I
nice.
was like, oh, that shit's dope. Um, uh, just their mannerisms, like the things that you would know that you see in movies that you don't necessarily pay a ton of attention to, but in good movies those things are there. Like the way people, when they're thinking about something, they might like move their hands or rub something, that indication of thought going on, like shit like that. Other than like most people, they just show they rubbing their chin. That's thinking. But there's other levels of it, like when people are just doing other things with their hands that you just like notice. So straight off, they're telling. This is like the most in depth storytelling I've ever seen in a video. Straight up, most in depth, right? Action is not as much of it as you would see in the games that we typically play. Like, I mean, all right, I haven't played this game for 4 hours. Now, in Uncharted, I would have killed like 50 people by now, right? Which is ridiculous because it's super over the top, and this dude like murders like a ton of people in the game and doesn't even think twice about it. But this is like it's a little bit more thought into what you do. So it's very much a slow, like it's a long ass tutorial. That's what that's what it feels like. Like the first 4 hours, and it's probably longer than that. Maybe the first 8 hours. It's a long ass tutorial. I'm trying to think. There was another game that was like that. That was like it was basically it's like 8 hours before you really got into the meat of the game because you didn't really have a lot of the abilities and shit. Like
Persona
there's
5.
a oh no, I ain't play that shit.
Yeah, I don't say live ain't played Persona.
Yeah, it had to be some other game like
Death Stranding.
not Death Stranding. No. Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, but Death Stranding was just it was weird and it wasn't as interesting. I mean, it did have its
No, but I'm
moments.
talking about the time frame before you can actually get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Before you really got, it was about 10 hours to be honest.
Right.
Oh, it's not
crazy.
that long. It's not that long. Like you busting heads before that. So I mean, because in Last of Us, they give you those moments where even when you feel like, oh man, this shit is dragging the fuck on, and all of a sudden some shit happen, you be like, okay, I'm up. Like so that part is cool. Like the cutscenes haven't really gotten to me. Typically they do. Like I said, other than Detroit, I don't really give a fuck about the cutscenes for most PlayStation games. Like most people when they're talking about all that cutscene shit, to me it just feels like a way to take the controller out of my hand and I get frustrated. But for this game, it doesn't feel that bad. Maybe it's not as long or basically it's more so well one, it's the first time I'm playing it, so it's not like me playing it for the second or third time. So I mean, I'm not struggling with that. And like the story is interesting. It's fucked up, but it's interesting. Um Now I know some people have the complaints with the story. I don't have those complaints because I'm not that vested in The Last of Us. Like I liked the game and it was cool, but I'm not Team Joel. I just don't give a fuck. I just like, oh, this is a cool game. Play it. That's it. Like I don't really have no really feelings towards it. Like if Sony said we're never making another Last of Us, I'm just be like, oh well, that sucks. and I just move on. I don't give a fuck. So I'm not. So I can understand why people who are fully invested in the story are tripping balls, because if what happens in this story happened in fucking Halo or Gears, there would be a motherfucking riot in the goddamn streets, dog. like, like I could, don't get me wrong, I don't feel that way about this game, but if this happened to games I did give a fuck about, yeah, there would be some be some digital bloods spilled in these streets.
All right, cool. All right, so let me go to 108 and get his thoughts about it before we start breaking it down about the review scores and all that. Uh, Go ahead, 108. What is your thoughts, man? I mean, so how much did you play, and where and how did you feel about it? I mean, are you right on par with live, or do you think different?
Um, I'm a little bit different. I look at it like, the first game was mad slow paced and it was more story driven. This time around, it looks like they put more action into it, even though the story narrative is there. But I enjoy this one more. I told you I tried to go back and play the other one. I said, damn, how did I beat this? That game is mad slow. You know what I'm saying? So this time, it's like they had more of a mixture between action and story, more than story than action. So
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
really satisfied for what they gave us. It has a ton of glitches. I don't even know how anybody reviewed this game and didn't mention the glitches. Somebody actually posted the one-arm glitch with no gun.
That was
Yeah,
well, I
yeah,
posted it, but somebody else posted it that
I didn't
I
get that.
reviewed.
That was
I didn't
crazy.
have those issues yet.
Um, it's almost as bad as what's the other game with the zombies?
Days Gone.
Oh my God, it's almost as bad
It's
as that.
that broken.
Yes, it's broke. Son.
I didn't again. I
But
didn't have those issues, but again, I also
But
don't have a
but
PlayStation that's super loud,
well,
and
hold
that's
on
a
too.
rarity. So
Oh, okay, but hold on. Also, though, live. I think me and you. Did you get Days Gone day one?
yeah, I got a
I
day one.
did
Oh, okay,
with the
okay, okay.
statue and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did
I mean,
unboxing.
I had a scene in Days Gone. I don't even know what the fuck happened, dog. I was driving a truck and nobody was in that bitch. It was just
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
no.
shit was crazy.
I don't see how these guys reviewed this game and didn't mention that. That's why things are biased, but it's glitched out. But it didn't take away from my experience. I was like, God damn, they'll patch it later. You know what I'm saying? But I'm getting.
But let me, they gave a pass to The Witcher. We know that shit was glitchy as fuck when that first.
Yeah, The Witcher
That shit, that horse.
it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
horse
yeah,
Yeah.
Roach was
Yeah.
Roach was and then the menu system was glitchy.
Facts.
because they changed it.
But
They
Right,
patched
yeah, they had to overhaul everything.
yeah. But
That card at
I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying the game. I'm enjoying the visuals. I went to 2 different modes, to the PlayStation 4 Pro and then putting it in 1080p. There's really no difference. You know what I'm saying? It's better performance with the 30 frames with the 1080p versus the 1440p or whatever it is. But I am enjoying the game way more than the first one because there's more balance between the action and the story.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed in the game at all. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to your boy 108 for giving it out next Friday. Like and subscribe. Cheap pun, but for the winner next Friday. But I'm enjoying it.
Well done.
You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely something. Like I said, most people on PlayStation when it first came out, it's a slower paced game, like Horizon Zero Dawn. It's not that high action, over the top, God of War 1, 2, and 3 type action, and it is story based, but it is awesome and it looks fantastic. It does look good.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Does it look next gen? Hell the fuck. I mean,
Nah.
that's what
I keep hearing people saying it. This is next gen. This is
no,
next
sir.
gen with the graphics.
Let me ask this question then.
Hold on, let me finish. If you put Uncharted next to it, or you put Days Gone next to it graphically, they're all using the same goddamn engine. But does it look fantastic? Yes, it does. Looks better. You know what I'm saying? God of War looks better, but that's not a discredit to those games because those 2 games are exceptional. But Looks good. Animations are fantastic. The way they're doing the story is fantastic. And like I said, they added the action, and I don't have no complaints.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's kind of like think of Red Dead, but not in all aspects. Because Red Dead looks better. Like when you see
Red Dead looks better than Grand Theft Auto 5, hands down. Hands down. Even when you put your gun in your holster, they don't have no details like that on Grand Theft.
No.
Red Dead is amazing.
Red Dead, when you look at Red Dead as far as like certain atmosphere locations, like when you're in the bayou and stuff like that,
right.
You don't really see, especially it doesn't matter in the daytime or night. The Last of Us is close to that, but it ain't
right.
that. You know what I mean?
But that's not a discredit though.
Because that was going to be my.
But where it does shine is Red Dead doesn't have the detail that Last of Us has because it's an open. Like Red Dead is a legitimate open world, so they can't.
Right.
They can't.
And ain't gonna have that.
You look at the rocks and you see, like when you get close enough in Red Dead, you kind of see it pixelated a little bit, depending on where you at. In The Last of Us, you don't really see that. I'm not saying
not at all.
That, but it's not something that you got to look for it. Like really, you got to look for it. You don't get
most dudes ain't looking for that.
Okay,
they just
so let me ask you this question. Okay, so that was going too far, y'all, with certain games. I just want to hear about the certain games that just came out in the last couple of years, like God of War, Gears 5, Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's not on that level.
What's not on that level?
Last of Us, not on that level.
Okay.
Gears.
Whoa. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me ask you.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, let me ask you this again. Okay, so you're telling me that The Last of Us, graphically, is not on the same level as Gears 5?
No, sir.
To me, let me ask.
Well, hold on. No, Slick.
Let me first of all, you got a game that uses the most special effects in history in gaming turned on at one time, and the champion before that was Gears 4. That's just the facts.
What I'm saying
well, hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go to you live next because y'all two.
And I'm not talking about from opinion. I'm talking about from a developer's view. Gears of War 4 had the most effects turned on in Unreal in the history of Unreal.
But I'd say Gears 5, not Gears 4.
No, but I'm getting into that. And Gears 5 surpassed that. Surpassed it. So I'm not saying a game doesn't look good because Last of Us looks damn good. But then you got those graphical feats like, God damn. Like Star Wars Battlefront, what is it, 2?
Yeah.
That's almost photorealistic.
Yeah, Battlefront.
Right. So, I'm not taking away from Last of Us because those other games are phenomenal. But in terms of technical aspects, Gears and those two and Star Wars really can't be matched.
It gotta be in this.
It can't be matched from a technical standpoint, not an opinion. People say, "Oh no, I think it looks better." No, I ain't saying I'm talking about from a technical aspect. And Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War is right after those two. And I'm telling you, Last of Us looks great. It's not a discredit because something looks better or have more effects.
No, I hope, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want people to get my information misconstrued because it definitely looks great.
Chris is already saying that's BS.
No, he don't count.
Never mind him. Let me ask this question.
He's an imitation light-skinned guy.
Okay. Last of Us on PS4. Wow.
My bad.
Last of Us 1 on PS4 versus Last of Us 2 on PS4. Okay, not even the Pro or whatever, just the base console, although you have the Pro, so that's kind of tough. But what do you think about the graphics comparison between those two?
Oh, like, it's night and day. I can tell you that. That's what I say.
All right. Okay. So
night and day.
All right. Because the way you like it's an improvement, but not serious. Okay.
I can tell you that. I mean, you can
Last
look at
of
that
Us original.
Night and day. Yeah.
But those that don't know, Last of Us on PlayStation 3 ran 20 to 30 frames per second. Had horrible performance and frame pacing issues. When they brought it over and they did the remake or the remix or the HD, whatever you want to call it, they made it 60 frames and it was more solid. So you can't really compare last gen to this gen. And Last of Us 2 is this gen, and it far succeeds what Last of Us 1 did. It's not even in the same category. So from a technical aspect, not my opinion, just a technical aspect.
Like,
my bad, I'm done.
if you remember the cutscenes, all right. So the cutscenes in The Last of Us 1. Now the character looks closer to that in The Last of Us 2. When you're actually playing the game, when you're actually
in game, it looks like the cutscenes from the
playing the
PS4
game,
version.
the
Nice.
guy in the cutscenes looks very close, if not a little bit better. Right now,
Thank you, Shino. Thank you.
Cutscenes look better than obviously what you would play in the game, right? Because that's where you see all the animation. That's what I'm talking about. Because we're not talking about this ain't what the hell?
That was 100.
Oh, his shit must have turned off.
I didn't do nothing.
No, I got your feedback came back.
Yeah, like something.
Yeah, it was feedback.
But what I'm saying is, like, in the cutscenes, that's where you see all that facial animation, all that shit. Not in the actual game, because you don't really, see people's faces, and then when they talk, it's just like
Facts.
any other game, their face would be like they have that dead face and all that shit. But like during the cutscenes, that shit is like otherworldly, right? Now, where I agree with Lemon on this is the feel of a Gears versus The Last of Us, because of the 60 frames, is extremely noticeable. The cleanliness of the image of Gears is noticeable. But
Right.
Last of Us has more detail because, again, it's not really an open, even though Gears is semi-open world,
Yeah.
it's more open than with The Last of Us. The Last of Us is kind of like Tomb Raider open world, more so now than it was. Kind of like the Tomb Raider and the God of War's kind of open world. It's like
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
little sections where they're open. But the difference is,
Right.
Last of Us, you can't go back, so it's still very linear. Right, once you go forward, you ain't going back. That's so it's more so linear than it is open world. So yes, they're able to, once they get past a certain point, you ain't going back. So they're just like, well, fuck it, we can just soup up the details moving forward. So it's going to be different, right? But again, I'm comparing that The Last of Us 2 to Gears of War on the One X. I'm not even talking about the PC. I don't consider that fair. Feel me? So I'll leave it as that.
Okay. All right. Great point. Great information, guys. That's pretty stunning though about the whole Gears 5 thing, because I'm seeing all these people, man, this is next level. This is this and that. And I was thinking the same thing.
It is. It's next level from
No,
PlayStation.
I get that.
Sure.
But see, that's the thing that was tripping me out, because I'm like, because that was the first thing that came to my mind was Red Dead and was Gears 5. Like, I'm like, well, if this thing looks better than Gears 5 and Red Dead Redemption, Lord have mercy, this thing is I want to see it in person myself. I'm intrigued by that.
I got
But
a
now
question
when you
for you,
said that
Mega.
Gears has the Gears had up, because I'm like, that looked
K-Mega,
Gears
if you
looked
play-
I'm
insane.
gonna give y'all one
Right,
question. This is
man,
for
you're not-
everybody
Yeah.
Not gonna,
that played Gears. Forget Gears 5. Let's go to Gears 4 with the lightning strike level.
No, you got to keep Gears 5, because Gears 5 has it all.
No. Gears 4 had it all before Gears 5. But what I'm saying is, look at my point here. Look at my point. Gears 4, with the level, with them pipes was going crazy, the lightning strikes, and you had to go through with the wind blowing and debris. What game to date look like that?
I would say God of War. The World Tree. The World
oh,
Tree was
yeah,
the
Yeah,
World
the World
Tree
Tree
was
was awesome.
The World Tree was absolutely.
awesome.
And then when
Yeah,
you first
yeah.
when
I
you
ain't
first
gonna
seen that big the world snake, the world serpent, whatever, I was like, damn, whoa,
Yo, K-Mega,
whoa,
what was that scene where the lightning kept on
whoa.
going on
Huh?
God of War?
On what part?
On God of War, where the lightning kept on going off. It was like
What?
at the end, towards the end.
Yeah,
And
that was dope.
Gears was HDR.
Yeah, well, what call it was too. God of War was HDR. So, are you
Yeah,
talking
they
about
all
Gears
should be.
4?
They all
Come on,
should be.
Gears 4.
Yeah,
HDR.
yeah.
With all that nonsense happening, crazy.
No, it was fantastic. That's why I was looking at it for the first time. Like, this is crazy. That was
Right.
crazy. But like the red sand level on Gears 5 blew my mind. And then
Right.
when you walked inside the area where the shadow and that's what showed that HDR at its
Right.
prime.
But
And you're
listen,
walking in through that area with the sun rays going through there, and you had that
right.
red.
And
I'm
this is
like,
not my
oh my
opinion. This
god.
came from Epic. That
Yeah.
Microsoft maxed out Gears 4 with special effects they didn't think could be turned on at the same time. This didn't come from Lemon. This came from Epic, the people who created the engine.
Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's what's key. Forget my opinion. It's just the facts.
Yeah. So okay. So Iron Mike, because he's played the game too, and he
Yeah.
said, what did he say? He said it's pretty hard to describe. He said, Last of Us looks like a peak, uh,
Oh.
a peak
That-
XSX game ported to the PlayStation Pro.
That's
Oh,
disrespectful.
yeah.
You just taking shots.
Yeah,
Yo, Mike,
I-
He's been
I-
taking
I fuck
shots
you,
for
Mike.
a
I
while.
rock
When
with
he's
you.
in the
all right.
cutscene with the controller.
So I got all the information that I got from you two. So I'm gonna get to the rest of the panel on this.
Oh no,
one.
I just wanted to give one thing.
One more thing,
The
quickly.
the melee combat is definitely my favorite thing to do, man.
It looks better. It looks a lot.
You
crisper.
know what? This is the one thing I would like.
Well, The
for
Last of
Gears-
Us was horrible.
for the next Gears. I want Gears to implement more of a melee, especially for those scenes where you get kind of stuff
Well,
where you can't really
Gears
shoot.
did add a melee, and the melee is pretty
No.
slick,
I
but
mean
it's
like
not
I
as
mean like
redefined.
more like
Yeah.
more where you could actually not just give him one hit, but like actually kind of fight a motherfucker a little bit more.
Okay, all right.
Like I wouldn't mind something like that. You know what I mean?
They
Get
do-
Marcus Phoenix out there pounding the motherfucker leg.
They do have a combo move. You just melee 3 times and it's a combo,
And it turns into a combo, right?
and then
That's
you
what
can
I'm saying,
execute.
right. It's not as well done as what we see in with the melee finisher as we seen in The Last of Us, but it is something that is needed on Gears because I was like, man, so hopefully Halo will add something to it in Infinite because I do love the executions in Halo 5. And so they implement that with some kind of melee too. That's going to be dope. But anyway, okay. So let me go and start asking you guys, the rest of the people on the panel, this question about the review bomb. Now, earlier, I won't go too much into it, but I talked to somebody from IGN today. We were having a little back and forth, and I'll tell you guys what he says after we listen to everything else, to everybody else. But I mean, everybody knows how I feel about review scores and all of this stuff. So, and I'm always going to keep the same energy. I don't care if it's an Xbox game or if it's a PlayStation game, PC,
Facts.
whatever. I'm going to keep the same energy. You didn't see me bragging about Ori being a 90 because it's just no. Anyway, so I'm gonna go to you first, PK. What do you think about this? What do you think that the gamers are trying to say? Now, I see PlayStation fans that's going out and saying that this review bombing thing that they're doing on the review scores is all from Xbox fans and from haters that only just hate uh, this particular game or Naughty Dog because they're so superior than everything else. Or do you think that there's legitimate people that are pissed off about this story and about everything else that Naughty Dog has been doing to other content creators?
So I think it definitely isn't a conspiracy. I think that's insanity to think that.
Mhm.
The thing is, it's almost 20,000. Almost
Uh,
20,000
yeah, it was a
in
16,000.
total.
Yeah, it was 16,000 when we started the show, so it might be at 20,000 by now.
And
In less
and
than an
all,
hour, 4,000.
if you go look, it's like
I'll go check
18
it
or
right now.
19,000.
I'll go check right now. Just go ahead and finish it. Okay.
But
Check it.
so what I'm getting at is, it's if the thing is, it's quite a difference in what the reviewers say and what they considered a masterpiece versus what normal people are reviewing. And if you just read some of the reviews, they're not bombing it just to be spiteful, right? There's a lot of legit people who just did not like what the game put out. They just didn't like it. And not saying that it's impossible for people to be petty and do that kind of thing. I'm just saying in general, I don't believe that's what's happening here. I really strongly believe a lot of people did not get what their expectations is. I mean, just gathering by just reading some of the reviews, I think they were more upset uh, about a lot of things that you guys tend to like. They did not like. A lot of people, me included. I don't like playing games that I watch more than I play. I'm not a big cinematic dude. I think cinematics are pretty, but they should be kept short just to move the narrative along,
Facts.
and get back to the gameplay. So if it, I had that same complaint with Uncharted 4, where I felt like I had to watch the game until chapter 9. That's just my opinion. I felt like it was underwhelming. I do feel like Tomb Raider was a better game in that aspect.
Awesome.
But going back to that, I think people are legit upset about a lot of the changes being done in the narrative, a lot of their favorite characters. Um, Basically, a lot of the things that they were excited to see what was going to happen next, they were pretty disappointed in the direction they went. That's what the total consensus was, and a lot of the reviews that I've seen is a lot of people are just upset about the direction of the story, and what they
By
did
the way,
with some of the
PK.
key characters. Yeah,
By the way, PK, it's 19,142
yeah. So,
ratings right now.
yeah, it's almost 20,000 people.
Hmm.
Almost 20,000 people, minus 100, has spoken out about this game. Majority being negative. It has nothing. I 100% do not believe that 17,000 or 18,000 Xbox fans are reviewing this
Facts.
game. That doesn't make any sense. Like, that legit. They got games to play. Ain't nobody on Metacritic worrying about this except for people who are
Facts. And
expressing
Metacritic means nothing.
how they feel, right? So these are legit PlayStation dudes. If you just read a lot of the comments, it's legit. There was one that's almost 2 pages long
I just
describing
seen
it.
that one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
like
saw that one too.
yeah, he said there were spoilers, and it is long as hell. It like expanding that shit was long.
Yeah, so he went into a lot of detail about what he did not like, and the fact that it took 7 years to develop this, and this game still isn't polished, still has glitches, still has
Oh,
these
bad
problems,
ones.
and and that's kind of what I'm kind of getting at. It's the same thing with Borderlands, right? Borderlands 3 took a long time, and it still had issues, and it's almost like uh, that is the disappointment. That is the disappointment. Is one, they don't like the fact that the game is not polished, not the way it should be, not from the company that quote unquote supposed to have this polish when
How
they
many
put out
years of
games.
development?
Seven,
PK.
seven,
Okay. Okay.
and then two, for some odd reason, they went left on the storyline. Now, again,
Oh
I
my
haven't
god.
played it. I'm just reading from their point of view. So it's not my opinion. I'm just reading what they're saying. And they did not like what they did with the key characters. They felt like they put a lot of unnecessary characters in the game that does not do anything for the story. And these are coming, and even one person that I like to uh, talk with, he even says the same thing. He didn't enjoy the game because of those things. He felt like the game was improved, but not in a way where it felt like a true sequel, more like an upgraded version of what happened, what the other game was. It felt like he was still playing or still trying to play the first game with
Mm.
just new features added, or and like kind of like Livewire said, it still was on a train rail far as a narrative driven thing, but they try to give you a sense of open worldness, but it's not true open world. He said all these things, and it mirrors everything that you guys have said about the game. And I haven't even played it, but it's really funny that everyone's saying the same thing. Everyone's saying the same thing. Now, as far as people enjoying it or not, that's still people's preference and opinion. But their right to criticize those things stands out heavily, and that's all I had to say on that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nice.
All right. 100. I'm gonna let you have the last word of talking, and then we can do the round table discussion. But I'm gonna go to Slayer because I know he's been waiting for a while. Um, what do you think is going on here, Slayer? Because I mean, it's a tough situation because if you say
Yes.
something about the game, then you get labeled as a hater or that you're biased because it's a PlayStation game and it's quote unquote PlayStation banger. But then you have other people that's on the other side that's like, look, I don't want these type of narratives pushed down my throat. This is too political. And then you have other people that's like, look, I enjoyed the game for the characters. This story is just not what I'm expecting, and this game is not on that level to me story wise. Everything else is great except for the story. So I mean, and then you got the other people that's saying, look, this game is one of the best games. It should be the game of the generation. So where do you think? I mean, like what's going on, bro? Because I mean, you hear it from all
Bro,
different spectrums, though.
I swear to God, man, the
Oh.
more I follow gaming and stuff, you talk to people, I think I should have went to psychology instead of computers and networking and stuff. Because, you talk to people, you deal with people all your life, and there's many types of people. Some people are full of shit. Some people are way too honest about way too many things they need to shut their mouth about. And this Metacritic subject alone could take up a whole show, a whole long show, a whole.
But we're not doing that.
Well,
Right.
I mean, we only got four topics tonight, so I mean,
Right.
it doesn't matter.
So,
So we can take as long as
even
we
then-
want to.
Nah, there's so many.
No, I'm
aspects
talking
to
about
it.
it until the time is up before we end the show. That's what I'm talking about. So if y'all
I
want to go
got you,
longer,
nigga. I'm just-
yeah.
No,
What's
I'm
the
not.
start?
I'm not. Yo, my turn to speak now. Just shut
Oh,
up.
yeah,
I got this.
show
I got this. There are
Yeah,
so
let me
many
shut
things
my
I
ass up.
could
You right.
say. There's
You
so many
got the
things I could
stage.
say. We could all say on this whole subject in and of itself,
Mhm.
outside of The Last of Us 2, when it comes to Metacritic. Wasn't it about a month or more ago when I dropped that link in the GRG chat with, 10 out of 10 scores for a game that no reviewers even had yet? Okay?
Right.
What, that wasn't review bombing? There's people, legit PlayStation fans, who don't like what they're seeing. Is that review bombing? There are actually people who bought the game, who have played the game, who are saying negative things about it in their reviews, and then still give it a 10 out of 10. Metacritic got to go. Metacritic got to go. End of story. This
Repeat
has nothing
that.
to do with The Last of Us. Metacritic got to go. Hashtag
Facts.
that. Okay? Megan need to put that in the title of the episode.
Metacritic got to go. Hashtag Metacritic got to go.
Got to go.
Gotta go.
Because
Gotta go.
it's messing everything. You can't even objectively criticize something, critique something, rather.
Objectively.
Objectively. It's just like what happened with Death Stranding. Okay, you saw
Which
those
nobody
reviews.
talked about no more.
What's
Chris,
that
why you
called?
ain't talking
What
about
game?
Death
Wait,
Stranding
what game?
anymore?
What system was that on, K Mega?
The GameCube? Did it come on GameCube?
No, I thought it was Super NES. My
Oh
bad.
no! I'm wrong. It was on PlayStation 2. It was on PlayStation 2.
I'm gonna sum this up. It's on the Game Gear Mini.
Oh, you know what? It's on that Sega Minis that's coming out. That's what's good. Okay, all right. That's what we're doing. All right, you're right. Oh, thank you, Jesse Duke, for the Embers. Embers. I said Embers. He said, no financials should be decided by Metacritic scores.
Facts.
No doubt.
So listen, man. This Last of Us, like I was trying to say earlier on, when you were expecting a quick answer, yes or no answer out of me, but that wasn't actually your question. By the way, I'm not into the whole zombie thing. It just makes me have to confront a bunch of thoughts about death and stuff that I'm really not into, except for Resident Evil. That's the only kind of content I could deal with zombies. So I was never into even the original Last of Us. But the multiplayer, like Lemon always brings up, was very original and
That's right.
and thoughtful. And I remember seeing this game and thinking, wow, they're doing some new things I've never seen in a game before. I always gave it credit for that. But PlayStation fans didn't buy it. Until now, it's fanboy war fodder to bring up a game that none of y'all bought.
Well, they bought it when it was $9.99.
They didn't buy it then. They didn't buy it then because the sales numbers don't represent that.
No, I'm talking about now. They bought it during
Now,
the
now they did.
PlayStation
Now
4
they
era.
did.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. Fans, Xbox fans, gaming fans in general got a problem with the game. Boys have problems with this game, and even though they're listing all these complaints, they're still giving it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is not just about Metacritic. This is about these reviewers, man.
Bias.
A lot of them got to go. A lot of these reviewers got to go. Hashtag a lot of these reviewers got to go. Okay? It's just ridiculous, man. I don't even need to talk about the ups and downs of the game. Like Livewire and Lemon were talking about glitches. And I swear to God, every time I watch a review for a game and they show all these crazy glitches, and I keep thinking to myself, man, I don't see these glitches. And so Last of Us 2 is just another example of that. I'm not knocking the game for that because I see that in reviews for all types of games, especially if you watch a video game donkey on YouTube. He loves to just clown games in general with all these weird glitches that you normally don't see when you're playing the game, right? So I'm not trying to knock the game on that. But you know what? A lot of people are talking about that. PlayStation fans are talking about that. I don't need to put no Xbox fans or other gamers into the equation and try to represent it like these folks is out here frauding. No, real gamers who bought the game, who are playing the game, who may like or dislike the game, have critiques on the game, and are still giving it 10 out of 10s. Just no. I really have nothing else to say on that because this game, I don't care about it. It's not for me. If it's for you, that's fine, but there's a lot of stuff happening around.
Preach. Man, for life. I see you, boy.
All right, so
hold on, Kid Mick. Let me say this for the point. My boy, one of my closest friends, man, always take care of me at GameStop. I ain't gonna mention his name. His name is Bacon Pancakes. I ain't calling by his government. But let me tell you something. I walked in the GameStop today and they doing curbside service. And of course, that's my man. I get to walk into the store as they lock the door. Now, I said, my guy, what's good with that Last of Us 2? How you feeling? PlayStation retard we talking to. Lemon, I'm not feeling it. Yo, he went on for about an hour. It was so bad, I didn't even want to interrupt him. Boy, I see, I gotta get something to eat. I gotta go get this Last of Us delivery, man, because I gotta do an unboxing. But he was like, most of the people in my store, they're not feeling the game. I said, why not? And he was like, it got a lot of glitches. He just complained about several things. And I'm gonna blow this dude up again. Christopher Hart, get on Twitter. Show the version you got. Because you look on my... No.
I gotta go to... Hold on, no.
Hold on, son. Hold on.
Don't talk about him.
Because dudes in here is co-signing stuff. What version do you have to be discrediting anybody else calling people frauds? I got the ultimate version. I unboxed it. We not frauds, dude. Because somebody give a valued opinion on something they may or may not like, that don't make you a fraud because you don't agree with it. Nobody said it's a bad game, but it's not that 10-10 version. It's not that 10. It's not that 10-10 wins. Give you 22 minutes. I'll give you the world. It's not that. Now, I don't think no game is perfect. I think the game is a great game. But when you hear adamant PlayStation dudes and they say, yo, Lemon, I'm not feeling this game. And I'm like, really? I'm feeling the game? Nah. And then he starts giving me their point of view. I'm like, God damn. You might be onto something. So everybody got an opinion. And Metacritic is not the end-all, be-all for anybody's opinion. These are reviewers who have an opinion, who play games, are not the end-all, be-all. I don't care if Christopher or whoever enjoys the game, right? But what I'm saying is you have to respect people on their perspective on gaming because we all out here spending our money. And because you spend $60, I spend almost $200, that don't make my opinion different than yours. I'm not going to say something's great or say something's not wrong with it because that's what it is. But that's what's wrong with Metacritic. You got people going out there playing, reviewing games that they have not played or games they have played and give it special treatment because they feel, oh, this is my platform I support. So I'm going to big it up, whether I like it or not. That's why Metacritic got to go. That's why the biased opinions of the public has to go. and we getting biased opinions
All
from
right, Bloody
from developers.
Junior. All right,
I mean,
Bloody Junior. Because there's still one more person that has to speak.
no.
on this.
I'm just saying. I just
You-
wanted to bring that up. I really wanted to bring that up
But you still
because
can
it's
bring,
biased.
but you can still bring it up after 100
I'm sorry.
gives
I'm
his
sorry. I'm
thoughts
sorry,
about
Kid
it.
Megan. I'm sorry.
I said
I'm
we
sorry.
could have a full.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh
sorry.
Lord, have mercy, Lord. I was like, okay. He said a minute.
That wasn't a direct attack to your man. I just was bringing up a point.
It's about 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Okay, no,
100, man.
I'm done. I ain't gonna keep going. I ain't gonna. You ain't gotta tell me to shut up. You ain't gotta do all that. I'm gonna stop.
Talking about it.
People
Get
got
going
the
to
point.
PK or whoever you're gonna go.
No.
I'm going to
People got
100.
People got the point.
100.
People got the point, man.
All right, 100. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. So you got the floor, man. Everybody shut the hell up and let 100 speak. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
muting myself.
Mute yourself, baby bloody. Mute yourself. All right, so 100. What is going on here, man? Is it that a whole bunch of dudes that's in Gamma Green going out there just review bombing and saying, "No, man, we want this game to fail because it's just too good"? Or is it that, man, this legit like the media, Metacritic, and Naughty Dog just disappointed gamers with this game? That's the reason why they're speaking out so much. What do you think?
I'm gonna tell you like this. You know, I don't believe in Metacritic. I never have.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have like a guideline. They don't have like an issue. They don't have like a guideline that like how long you've been playing gaming, how long is your gaming website. They let, you know, saying Xbox, I don't like Xbox.com or PlayStation hates Xbox.com review a game, and they count it. You should not count that. I found out a lot of these websites that they count them, but they don't have no review. They don't even put a number up. They just put something, they write something, and Metacritic puts a number up.
Yeah, the Verge did that.
Yeah, put a number up for them off of their reading, and they just estimate what they think the score is. I tell people this: I don't like Metacritic. I'm not throwing Metacritic, but I said Metacritic been bombing Xbox games for years. You know what I'm saying? They love to throw the 60s, the 80s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. And they're like, oh, look, it's 90. It's this and this and that. I heard movies that was 90s too, and it wasn't good to me. So I'm like, you need to get the eye of the beholder. Like, find you a favorite YouTuber that really plays these games, you know, that can actually talk to you and be in depth with you. Like, you know, if you tell me like, hey, honey, how you like about Grounded? I can explain to you because I played it. You know, I'm not saying I'm gonna give you a review. I'm not gonna break it down to you. But if you ask me, I'll tell you what I like and I dislike, and I'll do that in live. But don't take it and go run. It's not gonna be a Metacritic. I don't want you. I'm not trying to make you go buy the game. Now we've been finding out a lot of people been getting paid. We've been knowing that from the dawn of time of Metacritic. People have been getting paid to push the narrative. You know. We found out how IGN considers a masterpiece. That's not a masterpiece, what they consider a masterpiece. But in their eyes, it's considered a masterpiece. That's in their eyes. And in real gamers' eyes, that's not a masterpiece. I don't believe no game. I'm a Halo fanatic. It is no Halo. That's a 10. I don't believe no game. As an even human being, none of us is perfect. So none of us are 10. Nothing in this world is a 10.
Yeah, that's the point I held up. I was going to say the next Halo is going to be the 10.
Yeah. So how are you going to put something that's a 10? And then I watched it just like I said. Instead of me playing The Last of Us, and I could have bought it and all that. I thought about it. I went to go play Kingdom Hearts. You know what I'm saying? I got in lighting with the Disney stars and all that other stuff. Me and the kids was playing it and had a ball. But I started watching people that was playing it. I know everything about it. I know the whole story. I'm not going to ruin it. I didn't ruin it on my channel today. I just like certain people. I understand how certain people didn't like certain things. What happened to certain characters. If I played through it, I would have gave it a 7. I would have gave it a 7.5. I would have played through it. That's just me. If I would have played through it. A lot of people doesn't understand the story, but then you got to understand. Somebody told me it's the interpretation of Neil Druckmann and all them. It's no different than somebody making Star Wars and The Last Jedi. Some people like The Last Jedi, some people don't. I don't think it's dog shit, but it ain't the best Star Wars. But they got bombed. So now, how do you guys feel about using Metacritic? My thing is, y'all should not even use Metacritic. I'm tired of people running. They want to use Metacritic. That should not be a stick that you should use on. You know, once you go play the game, and once you, like I say, people get mad at Mr. Chris, but Chris came at me yesterday on Twitter, and he thought I was trying to clown or something, but I wasn't. I said I saw somebody that did something, and I said I was appalled, and I said I'm speechless. And he apologized to me on Twitter, like, no, I misinterpreted what you said. So I give him that credit. But I didn't sit there and go bomb it, and I didn't go sit there. And it's Xbox guys don't have time to go sit there. We're not known to bomb nothing. And if the Xbox guys out there, as me as one of the the mantles of responsibility that I hold, if you guys doing that, it should be ashamed of yourself. It should be ashamed of yourself if y'all are doing that. That we don't do that. We're not followers, we leaders. You know what I'm saying? We don't do that. So if anybody that mess with me or affiliate with me or come in my live chat, no, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? That's not good. But think about it was, if you go, I listened to a bunch of PlayStation people today because I didn't have to go into the office, and they were talking about it, and they were actually being like, these are genuine PlayStation people. Now they can say they can determine if somebody gave it a 0, like that's a bomb. You know what I'm saying? But it was some people that was sitting there, like I said, one dude wrote a novel. He wrote a straight novel about what he didn't like. That's not a bomb. He's actually breaking down what he likes and what he dislikes of it. You know, the leaks were true. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand this too, that I found out through the PlayStation Nation. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of stuff, people got mad at Halo 5 when they sit there and have Chief and Locke and look like they was going to kill each other, do all this crazy stuff, right? Why Neil Druckmann just did the same thing on The Last of Us when they had Ellie talking to Joe, but that's not really Joe, that's somebody else. And they had that in the trailer. I don't see that the interweb all blowing up off of that one. And it's proof of it because people are showing it like this is part of the game. She's not talking to him. She's talking to somebody else, but thinking about it is they did the 52 fake out on us.
You see, 100. That's why you're gonna get bombed on your channel because you preaching the facts. You preaching the facts.
Yeah. So nobody. I don't see nobody. Yeah, but I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody up and all about that. You know what I'm saying? But you got mad at because 343 threw you off because they didn't want you to know their story. But think about it, Halo 5 didn't get leaked. Last of Us got leaked to the T. Then to the T. It's like
on the staff who got pissed off.
Yeah. Hashtag save Locke.
You know what I'm saying? And then people sit there like, Naughty Dog is not a great place to work right now. Like I tell people, Naughty Dog ain't a really great place to work. How many people that left Naughty Dog? It's a lot of people.
Don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
As Don says, hashtag Tuesdays, which means every Tuesday there's a dev that's going somewhere out of Naughty Dog, somewhere else.
But nobody
want to go get that dental plan at somewhere else. Facts.
Yeah. So they don't want to. But when you start talking about that type of stuff, they get mad and like, oh, you're a hater. No, I want the game to do well. I'm not hating. I didn't say the game were bad. I didn't leak nothing. I'm not the leaker person. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I want you to play it.
Right.
You know, I want you to play it and enjoy it. I just wanted to see what all the fuss was about. So, you know, like I said, I watch movie reviews and I haven't watched the movie. It don't stop me from not watching the movie. So it's not going to stop me from playing the game because I still want to experience it on my own.
Facts.
That's just me. So you can tell me all about something. I still going to play it. So, but that's just me. It's not everybody else. But everybody's out. And then what Naughty Dog was doing to people, flagging people's channels and their Twitters and all that. Nobody's talking about that either for what? They was telling the truth.
Moving content.
They was telling the truth. But Xbox Nation is not bombing y'all. Your own kind is doing it. Your own kind is telling the truth. Maybe they saw the light.
Xbox,
you know what I'm saying?
Xbox community don't do that.
Yeah, I didn't. I put this way.
Not a trait.
I'll put this way. I follow a lot of Xbox guys. I probably say about 2, 3, 4 of them showed me that meme. But guess who showed me that was in action. A PlayStation guy showed me in action on YouTube.
100. Don't they got like 106 million people? How could we outshine them and they got double the people? How is that
They got
possible?
120. Somebody told me they got 120 consoles out
Even
there,
if they did, if we said something as an Xbox community, how could we outshine the PlayStation community in terms of reviews? Just saying. Think about that narrative.
But yeah, and like I said, the thing about it is Xbox guys. I see more Xbox guys showing love to The Last of Us than the PlayStation guys.
Don't do that.
Let's talk about it, because that's where I was going. I'm just waiting for you to finish.
Don't
Go
do
ahead.
that.
Let's talk
I've been seeing
about
Don't
it.
make us start some BS.
Let's talk about it.
Just because I don't talk on Twitter, like I said, I'm a thief in the night.
You're
You know what I'm
right.
saying? I look.
You're right.
I look, and I'm seeing people all last night. Oh, this is great.
Oh, today
Ooh,
too.
this is fire.
Oh, today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
sitting
still
there
waiting
like,
for that picture on Twitter to see what version you got, sucker.
So I'm sitting here like that. It's just crazy to me. Don't blame us.
Yeah.
Y'all need to come together as y'all need to make a huddle up. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation Nation need to huddle up and find out who's doing what. Because we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. You can't blame it on us. We too busy playing Kingdom Hearts. You know what I'm saying?
This podcast lit right now.
Yeah,
I'm about to
find
hit my
your new
man with
narrative. Find your new
100,000
narrative.
sparks.
Right now. Okay.
Right
So
now.
I'm not playing. I'm not. We don't. Trust me. Anybody that I know of that y'all did that's BS. Don't do that because
Right,
you don't
no.
want them to do it to us. And like I said, we have done it. It has done to us. You know what I'm saying?
About to get that spaghetti monster. Let's go. 100,000 sparks. Spend them
Let's go.
sparks. Let's go.
Spend them sparks.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, so let's get to the round table part of it, because I mean we might can get
let's
one more
go.
topic.
We doing
one more
good.
topic
We doing
in,
good.
but let's get to the round table aspect of it, and that means anybody could jump in and say whatever. So just be respectful to not just over talk everybody. But this is the thing, and 100. I'm glad you brought that up, because I was just going to. This is the thing that I keep talking about over and over again. This is why I say, yeah, there's some fools out there from the Xbox community that will go out there and that would bomb that game because they're a hater of a good quality game. That's dumb.
Thanks.
There is no reason for that type of idiotic type of junk. No, it's not. Just get you a PlayStation if you want a game like that. You know,
Thanks.
if you're that impatient about Xbox, you could be either a flip flopper, or you could go ahead and get you a PlayStation and play that game. And once you get over that, then you'll get back and play on the Xbox or PC, wherever the hell that you play your games at the most, Switch, whatever. This is when Gears was getting lit up. When Gears 5 was getting lit up for the glitches that it's had, rightfully so. There's nothing wrong with that. There was two things that I noticed, and when I sit there and I talked to what was I said his name was? Albert, dude from IGN, Artello. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, Brian Artello. Me and Brian Artello was talking on Twitter today, had a good, decent conversation, and so I brought because somebody tagged me, was trying to have him and me have words or whatever, but then it pissed them off because me and him were having a decent conversation. That's what you do when you talk to somebody that you don't know. You first have a good, decent conversation. And the first thing that he told me was that when I explained to somebody else, he came in and he was saying, well, the score that we do, 10 doesn't mean that it's perfect. And so actually what he says that simply put, this is our highest recommended. There's highest recommendation. There's no such thing as a truly perfect game, but those that earn a masterpiece label from IGN comes as close as we could reasonably hope for. These are classics in the making that we hope, and then it stops whatever was going on right there. But I said,
Really?
okay, that's fine. I said that's fine, but that's misleading.
Exactly.
Because you guys made reviews. I said, but there's more reviews in this generation than I've ever seen in any other generation. And so then I had to get him. Because he came back to me and he said, that's not true.
I respect that, Chris.
He says that's not true. We've had perfect reviews for forever, and there's more of them that came from other gens than it came this gen. I look at it is that if we have there's thousands of games that come out a year. If we give 2 to 4 games a year a 10, I don't see a problem with it, and it's not that many. Okay, from somebody looking in that's being objective towards that particular game, they might agree with that, but I had to get them. I said, and it was on their own shit. The first time that they gave a game a 10 was back in 1998 to a Mario game.
Mario 64. Let's
Mario,
talk about it.
1998. Facts. That was the first one. Can you guys give me and the number's not big, but can you give me a number from 1998 to 2012 of how many perfect scored games that just IGN gave? Can anybody give me a number? Any of you guys? Give me a number.
No. More of this generation than any generation.
I say 7 to 10. 7 to 10.
7 to 10. Okay. 7 to 10.
I can't even
It's
I can't
nine.
even come up with a number.
It's 9. It's 9 perfect score games from 1998 to 2012. Now somebody give me a number of how many that IGN alone gave this gen.
3 times as many. So I'm gonna say.
And how many was Sony?
No. Okay.
No.
IGN,
Just give me a number.
I just said 30.
Oh, okay. Okay, 8. All right. Anybody else?
Damn, 30. That's kind of high.
That is high. But you know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, give me 20. Twice as many. I was saying 3 times as many. I think you're right. Okay, twice as many. 20.
Okay, so it was 13, 14. It was 13 or 14 if you count because
this gen.
This just gen. You was close though. Well, the 30 you wasn't, but we said 20 you was close. But it was 13 to 14 games because I don't think that IGN count the last Persona game because they the last Persona game because they gave that a perfect score. So it's 13 to 14 games in this generation alone compared to back from generations from 1998 until that. So I'm like, it's right there. Your messaging is off, and on top of this, and now what you guys are talking about with all these damn glitches that's going on in The Last of Us, wasn't the reason why Gears docked was because of the glitches?
Yep.
Wasn't Gears 5 docked because of the glitches? Yep. Wasn't Days Gone knocked for the glitches?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Wasn't Ori and the Blind Forest knocked because of the glitches?
Yes.
Or the sequel, rather.
Yeah, Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
The Wisps.
Will of the Wisp. He thank you, Jazzy Noob. Thank you.
Yeah. What happened? I'm not looking.
Nah, keep going.
All right.
I got the chat. I got it.
Oh, okay. Damn. Thanks, Jazzy Noob. I see it right here. Let me go ahead and read this. It says IGN has his own issues as well. People's livelihood are tied to their scores, and that ain't right with these flaws in the in the systems. Okay, so there's
that's
another
why we
point
sit
I'm gonna
down
make.
to eat dinner with you because you're a real guy. Facts.
Right. Facts. Thank you. And this is the problem right here too. And then, like I said, I'm gonna let y'all talk. Is the point that he's making? Because what Brian brought up was that because the one chick made a video talking about that there is some weird discrepancies that they're not scared of the she's a former person that worked from IGN. I forget her name. That they're scared of the public. They're not scared of the publishers or anybody else in the gaming sector. They're scared of the public. So that's why they give the scores that they did. And so the thing was that I'm like, well, shit. The way that you read these reviews, when somebody says, well, man, this story is flawed, and then this story is flawed, and I couldn't get myself through it, but I did. But I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Don't that sound like you motherfuckers getting paid under the table?
Yeah, it sounds like a fraud situation.
It's a fraud situation. So
Fraud alert.
Yeah, fraud alert. So again, and so the point of it is like, well, somebody's got to be on a take. And so what Brian brought up was like, no, there's nobody I know at IGN is taking any type of money. Nobody's going to come out and say that they are taking money. But this was the funny. But this was the funny thing. This was what ironic. And I was just about to say this to him before the PlayStation stands jumped down my throat because me and him were having a decent conversation. Was this
and derailed the whole conversation on purpose? By
right?
the way,
They did it on purpose because it was a decent conversation. But how is that possible? Who the hell paid? I hear 100%. Who the hell paid IGN when they did EA Play yesterday? Who paid them? Was it IGN or was it EA?
Nobody paid him.
Nobody paid him. Nobody didn't pay IGN.
EA did it on his own. They just piped. They just did like with Lemon and everybody else do. They just piped their feed in. They just piped their feed in.
You sure
That's
about
all
that?
they did.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I mean, they might have exclusive. They might have extra after the show, and they got some extra stuff.
They had the extra before the show, and they did it after the show, and they had a former IGN person that was a host on the show.
Yeah, Greg Miller. That's
they had Greg Miller.
That guy.
Oh. Yeah, had Greg Miller in there, and then also, and if you listen to everybody say, and everybody on that panel that was talking about that was there before and after the show, they kissed EA's ass, even though when you heard them outside of that, they dogged the shit out of EA. So I don't know about that 100. That sounds a little flaky to me.
I'll put it this way: they get paid. They don't get paid in cash. They get paid in other things, like review
availability, exclusives.
They get paid or something. They get paid to kiss ass. You know what I'm saying? They do. Mm-hmm. That's how they get paid. They will say, "Hey, okay, is it all right if we can have this game on here?" They're gonna get paid for this, and they're gonna get paid for that. So that's how they work.
Okay.
You know how the situation look, phony?
Yeah.
Greg Miller been on a Sony bandwagon. He remember why he got fired from IGN.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Started the controversy over a PlayStation situation. It was so biased they had to let him go.
Yep.
Okay. Now all of a sudden he put a beard on. He changed his way he dresses. He was excited for EA. You ain't never been excited for EA. He was an EA hater.
Exactly. They mostly all were.
Now, you the host of a show. You see his bias, and we all know who Greg Miller is.
Right.
He's phony.
Right. And so that's the thing. That's
prime example.
Yeah, that's the point that I'm trying to make. Is like, listen. You are influenced. You're being tugged by two different entities. You're getting tugged by the publishers because you were quiet and didn't bring up anything about the glitches. But you still, and if you did in your reviews, you still gave the score a perfect 10 when everybody is showing you that the story. Go ahead. What is you
I'm sorry for interrupting. I wish I was part of that conversation because I remember last year when I had my rant about how they rated Pokemon 2019.
Right.
IGN had the highest rated version of Pokemon 19 out of anybody. Yeah, and if you read the review, she embellishes everything about the game. She says, "Oh yeah, this is the best Pokemon ever, and I play them all." And the 40 hours or so campaign, which is not true. The campaign is actually 15 hours at the most. At the most, that's not even half. That's at the most. So how can you go from 15 to 40? And she gave it a 9.3. No other site gave it that high. Not even a 9, because this game runs like crap. Yeah. It doesn't it doesn't even have locked 30 frames, let alone 60. It's the only Nintendo game that has the least amount of quality built into it, period.
Yeah, but PK, I found this out with IGN. If you ever pay attention, I have paid attention lately. Just because the person talking about the game did not review the game. Sometimes if it's a high pressure game, you'll see Brian Natano. You'll see somebody else that do it, but it's been written by someone else.
So I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, but because of the controversy, it blew up. to the point where they actually had to do a podcast about this review on a separate YouTube channel outside of IGN. And basically what they said was,
why would
you
they have to
should,
do that, PK? See right there, that makes a point right there. Why would they
Exactly.
have? Why would they
They
not do it
literally-
on IGN and have to go to a different entity?
they literally did that. And what they did was they sat there and said, well, you have, and I'm going to sum it up for you because I'm not going to do the whole thing, but they literally said that you are stupid for listening to someone else's opinion about the game.
That's
So
your
basically-
job, motherfucker. What the hell?
No, they saying that you're an idiot to listen to anybody else but them. That's what they're basically saying. They're basically saying that you're dumb.
IGN with the past 10 years or more, but especially in the past 5, I would say, right? Controversy after controversy after controversy over what? Their reviews. This is just one example that you're giving there. It's just one example of people had to be fired over reviews and stuff like that, or games had to be re-reviewed and guys had to apologize. I mean, look at the example you gave. That they said that this person said the game was this many hours, when if you stretch it out that maybe it's 15 and they were saying something like 20, you said? Like, that's the
8 to 15 hours for the campaign. And there is no expiration. She says there's none except for the region where you catch Pokemon, and that really is just a wasteland. It doesn't really have nothing in it. And everything she said was wrong. It's like this game runs like crap. And
IGN got to go.
How does she rate this game so high? And it had the glaring glitches that you guys. Pokemon 2019 has way more glitches than any current game I've ever seen, and she gave it a 9.3. I don't. Everyone was upset. That's why they literally made another show to talk about it. It was insane. You never see anything like that. I've never seen anything like that.
So why people getting upset where we know that this been going on for years now?
Because it doesn't make it right. It influences
it doesn't make it right, but you know what? If it don't make it right, guess what you do? You cut it off. You don't listen to them. I don't care. I really don't. You know what I do? When I do listen to something on IGN, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a laugh. I'm going to laugh. You know what I'm saying? I want, if someone say this and this and that, I just want to see, are they changing or are they not changing? Sometimes I just be bored. You know what I'm saying? We already know for years what these guys are doing. We know some of them on the take. We know all that. So my thing is, I'm not going to get my blood pressure high off of them. You know, I get mad at a YouTuber that I know play these games, and they got sponsored by somebody, and then they want to change something. I get more mad at that than get mad at them.
Yeah, because there was somebody
they're a corporate,
and now you can't trust anymore. I understand that.
They're a corporate entity. You know what I'm saying? They're a corporate entity. Like I love my man from a couple of boys left from Funhouse. I love them to death. You know what I'm saying? They was Inside Gaming, and they messed with Rooster Teeth. They got with Rooster Teeth, but Rooster Teeth got bought out by CBS. So a lot of stuff they couldn't do. And I used to like them because they used to be themselves. They used to cuss, fuss, and everything. They told the truth. That was the closest Adam Seltzer that you can get. They didn't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't care. But when they got the name back, and then CBS told them what they can do and what they can do, what they got to do, what they do. A couple of them just left. Some of them just said, we're just gonna live stream. We're gonna let the youngins take over.
Okay,
and they're gonna back out.
Okay, to answer the thing you were talking about before as to why you should care. Because number one, critiques are important. If you want the gaming industry to improve and get better, we need critiques, not just, anal aspect, minor crap. I'm talking about if a game is good, if a game is bad, if a game that a lot of people don't know about is doing something innovative, that more games should do, things like that. This is important. When bad games are getting treated like they're the best, all games are going to turn out the same way if you allow it to just be that way. What I tell you
yesterday, you and PK need to get your damn channels together and you need to start preaching the truth.
Well, I'm telling you the truth right there. And that's the answer to the
preaching the truth.
Right
go preach it on your own channel. You go sit there and you start preaching the truth and let the people know. And you can go real in depth. You ain't got to be on a time limit. You can just go, just how I
I
go
don't need
slow.
no
If
time
I
limit.
can go for an hour and a half and just talking, you can do the same thing, and you can break down. You can break down reviews. They're no better than you. Nobody on this panel and nobody in this live chat. They're no better. Anybody can do what they can do. We just don't got a journalism degree.
Oh, well, thanks
And
for
Buddy can do their job better than them.
But see, I don't even need all that time. It's very simple. It's basically what I said. That's the answer to the thing right there. Like, you need these critiques. You need that as a part of the whole system. If you care about games,
You got to break the system. You don't go mess with them. You don't give them the clicks. You don't give them the views. You don't even recognize who they are.
No,
that's how you break the system.
You do. I mean, the same thing's happening now with the Black Lives Matter movement, which was
we breaking the system. Think about the system's getting broke because what?
Same thing here.
Yeah,
well,
but
no, while the system is getting broke, it's not because people are going after them. It's just because the viewer base is listening to other YouTubers.
Yeah, they're listening to other people who are telling the actual facts, and they're starting to realize this is a lot of bullshit is going on.
All right, so
them the same guys that say the E3 is dead. They didn't want to because what? Me, you, Lemon, anybody, can't make anybody. We can go sit there and do a better job at E3 than they can do.
Exactly, trying to control the narrative about what's really going on.
Well, no,
right?
That's true.
Because that's what people hear is what these news outlets are saying. But when these news outlets are lying, when they're being bought and paid,
but they're not a news. To me, they're not a news outlet. They're no more than a YouTuber. They know better than YouTube. They're not. I know they under you a news outlet,
but that's what they are.
But then you gotta understand that too.
They got a huge.
They got pressure under their. They got pressure under editors and all that other stuff too. Well, we don't. Well, think about it. Like I say, PK and you. And Mega, and I don't do reviews. I just talk shit.
I don't do reviews either.
Yeah, I just don't got time because I don't want to break down.
Lemon went to the
but like I say, you guys got a voice too. You guys got to do that. You can do that too, and people will listen to you. Trust me, I didn't saw people listen to. Just straight off I watched a dude that I really ain't talked to in a minute, and he reached out to me, and he kept it a buck about The Last of Us, and he blew up. He got 6,000 subscribers. He passed me up in the New York Minute. But you know what? I was happy for you. He sent me a DM like, man. I said, you telling the truth.
It's the hot thing right now. That echo is killing me, 100. What's going on over there?
Hey, me.
Yeah, it is. It's coming. I see it right there. You go. Thank you.
Definitely you, because you light up every time.
Yeah, you light up every time. I don't know what kind of feedback is coming. Maybe you got your thing too loud. I don't know. Maybe that's probably what it is. I don't know. But there's two people that one person that I think that one of you guys. I don't know if it was PK or if it was you Slayer, the upper echelon gaming guy. Yes, it has to be you because you posted that. You posted that. He says, I'm falling asleep right now. Think about The Last of Us 2, and I can't and I just hate it more and more. And then he's saying rampant DMCA abuse, deceptive marketing, hypocrisy of sexual
content.
Content, yeah, and then garbage characters. And then he says fake as fuck pre-release reviews. This game deserves to be shat on. Damn.
And so the next part is even worse.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So he says Neil Druckmann literally motion captured the guy who spat on a beloved character. This guy is an insult, a high budget insult, and anyone giving this game 100 out of 100 is a fucking liar. That's what he says. Now, another thing that somebody said, which is somebody who's been on the show long back when we first kind of started, was 3MG. He's more of a PlayStation guy for sure. And he posted today because I was like, bro, are you serious? He said that the story of Abby's like going through Abby's just I guess her past or whatever. He said it was more boring than ReCore, right? And I was like, damn, like that. And then so he was like, man, I'm exaggerating. He says, but it's even worse. He said it's putting me to sleep. And so I was like, well, I can't wait to find out more about what you think about it. The more and more that I see people get past, because what I'm hearing, people are loving it. They get in awe from the time that the game boot up until about that 6 hour mark. Then after that 6-hour mark, I start.
And then Neil Druckmann comes out.
I think that the part of the game. So I'm thinking it's anywhere from maybe from the first 10 hours of the game, it's got you hooked in. It's got you like, whoa. And then I think in that next 10 to 20 hours, somewhere between there, that's when shit goes left. And then
Man, you know what this sounds like?
What it sound like?
Sounds like Metal Gear Solid 5 all over again.
Wow, you know what? And you know what? What like a show
that hurt. That hurts.
And you know what this sounds like to me as a television series? This sounds like Game of Thrones, the season 8, where it gave you this ultimate high in season 8, where the Daywalkers came, and the Walkers came, and they was taking over the castle, and all that crazy shit would happen, and it put you on edge because it was so good and so dope. Then you get to the point to where they get out there to the Lannisters' castle, and then Daenerys goes damn crazy. Like, and it gives the plot to why she goes crazy, but it doesn't give enough detail. It just kind of goes completely left. Like, she becomes a ravaged killing machine. Even though I thought season 8 wasn't as bad as a lot of people was saying it is awful, but it didn't live up to the Game of Thrones stature of what we've been seeing for the last 7 seasons beforehand. So I say 7.5 seasons of Game of Thrones has been epic as fuck, and then it tempers off because they had problems with writers, problems with this, budgeting, time, all this other things that's going on.
Writing the books.
And this is the same thing that's been going on with Naughty Dog, with these developers and everything else. Like the crunch, all this stuff seems to have affected this game's story, and that is supposed to be the most important part of it.
Yeah, because it was more so like maybe it's the same thing. It's like the champ, or at least in the Game of Thrones, your champion, the person that you've been rooting for this whole time, doesn't get the ability to basically reap the rewards of them becoming a champion, or at least even see the fruits of their labor of becoming a champion. Right. Because it kind of like happens in the background, almost like, and people are like, I don't know, they done? All right, I guess, I don't see them. Okay. And then all of a sudden they go crazy, and it's just like, wait, my hero becomes, a nightmare, and then that nightmare leads you to another nightmare, and then you're just like, now Brand's the king. You're like, well, what the fuck?
Right, yeah. So it's crazy. Sir X-Man, K-Mega, did you finally catch up with Star Wars? No, I did not. I'm sorry. I haven't done it yet. I'll probably try to do it this weekend. But I'm all focused on Injustice 2. I'm almost there. Almost got everybody to level 30. So you know how it is. But all right, let's see what time it is. Normally we would be
to Star Wars, the Fallen Order.
We almost done. Let's go.
Well, we're not. There's no way we're going to get through the next 2 topics. We're just not. We're not. So we could try to do GRG extra or whatever. I don't know. I might try to do GRG extra next tomorrow because the other 2 topics alone is going to take another 2 hours. I already know that.
Which one are the topics? Last 2 topics? I know one is Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk ain't gonna take 2 hours, but the other one is going to be with Xbox, with the pricing.
I see an extra coming tomorrow. Let's go.
Yeah, with the
Xbox for the pricing.
With the pricing, and then the rumors behind everything on top of that, what I showed you guys and all that stuff. So that's something to definitely talk about. So let's go ahead and finish. Thank you, Farscape, for the embers. Thank you, Sir X-Men, for the embers. We appreciate it. So this is gonna be the last topic, but we're gonna finish up a little bit more to make sure we get everybody's point of view before we get out of here. So,
keep it short like your sex lives. Let's go.
Can you stop touching my damn ear?
It's ice. Keep it short like your sex life. Let's go.
Well, keep it short like your sex life. Oh, well, if that's the case, then we would have already been done if it was your sex life. We would have came on. I was like, hey, let's get to the bombs. Good night. That's it. All right. So,
God bless. Good night.
Good night. Anyway, Sir X-Man says, tell Lemon calm down for his old ass have a heart attack. Lord have mercy.
Oh my goodness.
Here we go. So,
I'm not going to respond to that. I'm going to take the high road.
Oh, my goodness.
Good luck. Good luck.
So, okay, anything else with the
with
Last
your
of Us
prostate cancer surgery?
Okay, you said you weren't gonna say nothing.
My bad. I'm sorry.
All right. So, anything
So
else that we want to kind of touch on this?
so I think
Mm-mm.
I think in
We do.
general,
You
I
don't.
think I don't again, I have not played the game, but I can
Mhm.
understand people feeling outraged about they love this game and they just want it to be great. And it's okay for them to speak out and criticize it.
Mhm.
I think that should be looked at and heard, not looked down on and say, hey, this game should be this when that's all propaganda. Let's just be real. Keep it 100. I love Pokemon. I love that game. That franchise is one of my favorite, but I refuse to buy Pokemon 2019, especially with the stuff that they did to the game.
Mm.
That game was trash. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't enjoy it. I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy Last of Us 2. If you enjoy it, then that's your thing. But I'm saying for me and for other people who also criticize it, they have a right to. They just want it to be good, just like you do. So
Hey, PK, I
don't
have a
don't
question
don't
for you.
don't put it down. Understand there's two sides to everything and listen to the other side. We're all gamers. We're not Xbox dudes. We're not PlayStation dudes. We're gamers. I'm tired of that narrative.
Facts.
But let's
Mm.
just be real. We all want our favorite franchises to be great.
Yep.
Now we have a right to criticize them. We got a right to celebrate them. But don't get upset because one side don't agree with your side. Listen to what they're saying so you can see their point of view.
So, PK, all these negative things that you're saying about Pokemon 2019, how did you find out about all these glitches and bad frame rate and all these other things about the game?
There was a ton of leaks. And they were validated because what Nintendo did was they didn't even let people have review copies until the very last 2 days. before the
So
game
some
released.
honest reviews came out, who was breaking what do you call it, NDA or whatever, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, no. It was leaks, not reviewers who obviously data mined the game. And when they data mined the game, they had a lot of information out there that they just wasn't happy about. I mean, I wouldn't be happy either, but that's Nintendo struck a lot. Nintendo did the same thing that Sony did when it came to Last of Us 2.
Yeah, they DMC'd everybody, YouTube, all of that. But the reason I asked you that question was, see, the point is I was trying to make was that you need good reviewers, good people in general, putting out that information when they find out what's going on to report it to the people. This is what these news organizations of all colors, not just for gaming, are supposed to do. And in particularly for gaming, it's like they're all been bought and sold, except for
all
us
colors.
YouTubers. And these YouTubers out here, and some of them are getting compromised too. I don't want to name no names because I don't need all that flack, but you know the ones we talk about, okay? We see them on Twitter every day, frauding all day, clouding the facts so the gamers can't know what's going on if a game they've been waiting on is worth their money, worth their time. This is
true that. And that's exactly, you made this point, because what that IGN chick said on that other stream? Why don't you just buy it and try it out for yourself? Why would you want to spend the money? Let's just be real. I have tons of gripes about Pokemon 2019, but this is one of the things that got me upset is because, first of all, this is the first time they charging $20 more for Pokemon since the 3DS. $20 more. Just remember this. It's not just one game. They're selling 2 games still. For some odd reason, they still are selling 2 games.
Speaking of that,
Bruh.
speaking of that, hold on, and let me read this. Hynosis, thank you for the embers. He says playing West of Dead and Bard's Tale remastered through Game Pass. Great chat. Thank you. West of the Dead is good. I like that game. I played that on XCloud. That's pretty dope. That's a dope ass game. Okay, I'll go ahead and let you finish, but go ahead and finish.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to. I'm just saying. Now it's $120 to have both games. There's no reason to have 2 games. This is not 3DS anymore. This is Switch. The cartridges can hold tons more memory. So once we and then, she pointed out, well, people should try it. Well, the thing is, you're spending money to try it. It's not like any other. It's not like a play for free day on Xbox or PlayStation, right? Nintendo doesn't do those things. Nintendo games don't even go on sale. They're always full price, no matter how old it is. So when you spend that money, you committed, whether it's trash or not. Whether it's trash or not. So to me, that bothers me because you're saying to your audience, one, you're telling them they're idiots for listening to the data miners for what they found in the game, saying they shouldn't listen to them. They shouldn't listen to them because they're idiots if they do. Basically, you're saying you should only listen to us. So you're calling all gamers dummies because they're listening to data, not opinions, not reviews, but data that someone pulled out of the game. That ain't nothing to do with somebody's opinion. And then the second thing you're saying is people should just try it. So a lot of people did, and guess what? A lot of people were upset. And that's why that was the most controversial and divisive Pokemon of all time. Whether you like Pokemon or not, if you look at the fan base, that's how I can feel why the Last of Us 2 fan base might feel the same kind of disheartening because they are disappointed with what they did to their favorite franchise. They have a right to criticize it, just like everyone that likes it has a right to enjoy it. But both sides, we're gamers, we're consumers. We gotta listen to each other so we can demand better for our money. We should not just be buying it just because it has the name Last of Us on it. It should not get a 10 out of 10 just because it has the name Last of Us on it.
Amen. And I just want to add one last thing to that. Like the quote that you read, the second one, Neil Druckmann did the motion capture.
Wait. I'm sorry for interrupting. Look what Iron Mike says. Look what Iron Mike says in the chat.
Iron Mike. Bro, that was my rip off. My 12-year-old daughter apologized for wasting my
disrespectful.
Wow.
Disrespectful. Now, okay, so all right, go ahead and make your point. So I want to make my last point, and then we can get out of here. Go ahead.
Well, you know me. You got distracted, already forgot it. So just
all right. Old man. All right,
let's go, K Mega. It's a record GRG tonight.
No, it's not, because I might go long.
It's a record GRG tonight.
Anyway, so this is the thing right here. Right? You know what? PK is basically kind of like Crispy on next podcast. He got to throw in something about Nintendo or Pokemon. Like Crispy always got to bring in something with gears to every topic. It's pretty funny. It's funny. I like it though. But you brought it back. I like that. We had to talk about the whole Spider-Man situation too tomorrow. So get ready for that.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Full game. It's a solo game. I can't wait to talk about that tomorrow. I'm gonna go in. But that's another point that you made. PK was talking about the Pokemon situation. Because you're paying for two separate games. It's one thing that nobody hasn't brought up about The Last of Us, because remember they said that multiplayer is coming, and that's going to be a standalone game.
Oh man!
No, it's not going to be a standalone game. It's going to be an alone game.
Hold on. Okay, the last one. Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta hit Sir X Man up. Thank you for the embers, brother. He says just like eating something that everybody says is good, but once you finally when you finally eat it, you realize what was wrong with them. The Last of Us 2. I'm sorry that I sound like I can't read because it breaks it. Because if you see the thing from what I'm seeing,
when I did that, you didn't give me a pass, so you definitely
sure
on. Yep,
hey, because it separates words, and I'm like, what the hell?
That's what I told you.
All right.
Okay, so I remember the thing I want to say. I just want to add this real quick. Okay, what PK was
again?
Out there. Shut up, man. Listen. So all these folks, who are telling you, don't listen to them, listen to us. You know what that reminds me of? What? That reminds me of the Nazis. That reminds me of all these groups
Oh wow, you going way left with that.
Damn.
No, that's not left. They try to
No. Let him. Oh my God.
You're gonna have to bring that back. You got to pull this in.
No, listen. Well, if you keep interrupting me, I'll
because I'm trying to stop you from going way left. But go ahead,
I'm not
please.
going way left.
Okay,
but
all right.
These individuals are telling you. You need to listen to us. Don't listen to these hackers or whatever who data mine the game with actual representable facts, undeniable facts. No, listen to us. You know that reminds me of the Nazis and ultra conservatives of all kinds who try to put into you to listen to them. Only they know what they're talking. That sounds like a lot of these it's all the same mentality. Trying to tell you what you should think, what you should believe.
But I'm a Democrat, and I hear liberals.
He said ultra conservative.
He did. He said all right. But see, that's what I said. So I had to clean it. I gotta clean it up. I gotta clean it up because I am a Democrat. But you also have liberals, diehard liberals that do the same thing. Come on now. I get what you're saying.
Sure.
Come on now.
It's all the same mentality. I'm saying it doesn't matter what.
Stop by say.
All right. We're gonna back that up. We're gonna back that up. Anyway, back to my point, and then we're gonna get out of here. Before anybody else start talking about Nazis or something like that. That shit was crazy.
Point entirely.
I know, I got the point, but I mean, we're talking about gaming. We're talking about gaming, not Nazism. Jesus.
Well, if you knew what the point was, you wouldn't be saying that.
No, I know what your point was, but it's a little expressed, a little high up there, right?
It's not a political channel.
Yeah, it's not a political channel, bro.
No religion, no politics.
Talking about that crap, man.
Okay, all right. Only thing we did was talk about.
He said, "Let's go." Funk Master Flex, the Haitian version.
I know, right? Okay, so
that's Spanish. Don't go there. That's not right there.
So the thing is with this is that you got the Last of Us 2 multiplayer that's going to come. I wonder if they're going to try to pull the Miles Morales on the gamers. Are they going to try to come with because this game is going to look good. If it's a standalone game, this game is going to be it's going to look good. It's going to be detailed. It's going to
look like the last one.
Yeah, well, but I mean that multiplayer was fire. So think about that being a standalone game and they hitting you over the head because we got ray tracing and we got all these hard things and they hitting you over the head for 60 bones. You gonna buy it?
Being that I'm jumping out the window for day one for PlayStation 5, that might be my only purchase.
No, it's not. You buying Bugsnax. Don't lie.
If I buy Bugsnax, I will personally castrate myself on camera.
But you better get you better start cutting. You better get going left. All right.
Game, I will personally castrate myself live.
I'm not gonna watch that show. But I'm gonna make sure that somebody give you the scissors. Yeah. That's a little up there, bro. That's a little up there.
I love unboxings and I love doing it for the people that watch. No, it's a no-go. I don't care.
What? See, right here at the end of this show, this is what happens, right? And I can't even play this on live this time. When YouTube goes and circle this, when they got to do their little check, and they're gonna come back and they're gonna hear that shit, right? And they're gonna say, no ads, no ads.
Shout out to my man in the chat that said Bugsnax is going to get an upgrade on Xbox Series X. And you know what's crazy?
I'm gonna get it.
You admitted it. It's an upgrade.
I'm gonna get it.
Powerful system. Thank you, Christopher Meathead. I appreciate you.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna rep that Bugsnax.
Now he wants you to stop. Oh no!
100. You gonna get
yourself? It would be an
100.
upgrade.
You gonna get Bugsnax?
You know what? If that hamburger could look like Fat Burger, I'm in the building.
I'm getting it, son. Get some bacon on that bastard, and then walking around. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna get it.
They're not allowed to talk.
Pound burger. Me and K Mega was eating in Cali.
PlayStation Nation's not allowed to talk about Sea of Thieves.
Nope.
Super Lucky's Tales.
Nope.
State of Decay.
Not more.
No more.
No.
But the strawberry sauce.
And you
all right, guys.
That game.
Let's get out of here.
I'm done.
We're done. Let's get the hell out of here. It's starting to go. Look, I haven't even drunk anything on the show, and I see now what I've been missing. I see what I've been missing when I'm sober, when I'm on the show. So, Oh, I've been running with this shit. This is horrible. I got to get out of here. All right, PK, where can they find you at, man?
They can find me on Twitter at PKX Live. I almost forgot what. And on GRG every Friday.
He's about to say Pokemon Live.
No, don't do me like that.
Can't make it messy.
We all messy today, like man. That. We all messed up.
Can they find you at PK?
Y'all need to stop hating on my Pokemon.
I'm not playing. I just find it fantastic, man. Because you were serious about your Pokemon, man. You tied that shit in, boy. But anyway, go ahead, man. Let's get out of here.
All the facts too.
Oh man. PK, that's all you had?
Yeah, I just standing here. I'm done.
Man, say this shit again, because I didn't hear none of all that. I just didn't hear nothing.
I was doing it for the viewers, not K-Mega, but okay.
K-Mega today.
He told you to rewind your own podcast. You want to hear it again?
You know what? You know what? You know what I got the power of doing? I got the power of editing every bit of what PK say. I can edit. I can edit.
That's how you feel.
Anyway,
remember he get a light skin pass. We got the most light skin podcast on the interweb. Facts.
Oh man, 49
limited rare form.
Matter of fact, everybody in here tonight is light skin. Everybody.
Oh man,
I told you y'all been played out.
Yo,
thank you for escape. He says all good with GRG extra. Yes. Try to get these knuckleheads to come in tomorrow so we can finish these other three topics and get out of here.
Just give us a time. I'm there.
I'm definitely down.
All right. Livewire, where can they find you at, brother?
You can find me out on my channel, Livewire Gamer. I'll put up something. I just gotta find some time.
You gonna have time to be on the show tomorrow?
What time?
Let's
discuss that after the fact.
Yeah, the afternoon about
he didn't tell him his second channel came mega.
1 or 2 o'clock.
He didn't tell him his second channel.
Y'all's time. Or can you do it that time live?
I doubt it.
Tell him your second channel. Lightskinbrothers.net.
You drinking?
Lemon's drinking. So yeah, we got
wilding right now.
He wilding. All right, so live. What time would be good for you? About what? 11?
Nah. I mean, if my wife's here, I ain't doing it.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's fine.
Enough said, brother. Enough said.
Okay. That's
sunrise, light skin time.
Oh Lord. All right. So, Slayer, where can they find you at, man?
Yo, you can find me on Twitter at SixSlayer and everywhere great games are played every Friday night right here on GRG, and apparently most Saturday mornings early on or early in the afternoon with that GRG extra, which I'm actually liking. Y'all thinking this is a joke, but I think this is a good.
No, people are actually liking it too.
Yeah,
people. As long as they tune in, we doing a good job.
Yeah, they tune in. They like
laughing. Y'all can ruin the whole point. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And so because it was just Slayer and Op yesterday or last week. It was fun. It was fun. So they held it down. All right, 100. Where can they find you at, man? I'm tired, man.
Y'all can find me at your local bar. That's where y'all can find. They open now, yeah.
Bar.
The bar? You gonna go to the bar? Hey, man.
You don't go outside.
You don't. Stay your ass in the bunker. You know what I'm saying? Just stay out there.
Bottles.
Hey, don't get mad because I got a bunker. I can't come in though.
I'm gonna be right there. Me and Lemon go kick the door down.
That's right.
Ass out of here.
That's right.
This is our time. This is our spot now.
I got high security clearance. You know what I'm saying?
Who?
I'm here for the. Hey, if the world go to shit, hey, I'm the one they gonna take. Me and my family good.
Oh man, what we gonna do? The world go to shit. We coming to LA, and your ass gonna be on the grill,
say I was gonna be in
cooking
LA.
a Bug Snacks burger. That's what you're gonna be doing.
No, damn.
No, K-Mega, is that what you want? A Bug Snacks burger, man?
I do want a
Bug Snacks burger.
It's
gonna be chasing you, or you gonna be chasing it?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
As long as it ain't that burger that I talk K-Mega to get him to get it.
Oh, that thing's gonna get me. Yeah, damn burger.
As long as it's not that, we good.
Lord, that boy tried to kill me. Anyway, all right, 100 cool. And last but not least, this boy over here lit. He's over here out of his damn mind.
I came in here like I love life.
Oh my God, he drinking that thought juice.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I ain't had that much.
He called it that. There's no blame me. He didn't give it that name.
Boy,
I did.
if I see a bottle of something that calls thought, I'm going to clown forever.
That's a New York
Anyway.
slang, son. New
Oh,
York
Lord.
slang.
Oh, I was like, what the hell is that? That sounds nasty.
It's a
Anyway,
La
what can I-
Marita. Those
Oh,
strawberry
okay.
Doritos. That's all it is. The Bud
Yeah,
Light. We just call it
Coke.
thought juices because
Bro.
them thoughts over there love to drink them.
Word. All right, where can they find you at, bro?
Yo, you can find me at 108 Dragons on everything, man. And thanks for everybody to come out. Please, please, please. I'm close to a rack. I need everybody to support me, man. Like and subscribe for that Last of Us 2 giveaway, whether you like the game or not. I don't know who want to criticize, but over here on 108 Dragons, King Mega channel, we are versatile gamers. We play everything, and we just gamers, man, and we out here doing what it do. Facts.
All right, yeah. Hurry up and get Lemon up there so he can get to that little YouTube money, get that little 15,
No. I want them to get me up there so YouTube promote me.
Yeah, not if you got these fools on here, because the first time the thought juice, and when you got to make that list, they're gonna say nope, limited.
Yeah,
How about matter of fact, we cutting it all off. Nah, no ad revenue.
Damn.
So you ain't getting a little
Prince
bread.
Akeem over here has to go to Queens with that thought juice. He'll be good tonight. So,
Wow. All right, man. We about to get out of here. Everybody have a good one. Wow. Listen, I know that they're trying to open everything up, but you still got to keep hunching, man. No pants off, dance off. If you do,
Facts.
better be safe, because if not, you're gonna be
treat
doing
this like it's still new, baby. Don't fool around. You see what's going on in Florida, man. They're about to call that the new epicenter. Forget New York. It's about to be Florida
It's
now.
about to be Florida. Oklahoma's got crazy too. So
Yeah,
man, you
Oklahoma's
gotta
getting
watch
pretty
out.
bad too, I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody over here running around, over here trying to do that pants off. Say, get to that hunching, and that's it. Everybody,
Facts.
have a good one. Peace. Let me hit the button before we get out of here because I don't know what the hell y'all gonna say after the show.
Hey, thanks for checking out the GRG podcast. All your gaming news and our special topic of the week. Make sure to join us every Friday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 6:30 Pacific. This was the GRG podcast.